Live from the studio. I'm Bobby Ray. I'm Jimmy Selesky.
Merrick Glazer. Tonight on the cast, we got B.O.B.
B.O.B. and Bobby Ray, dude.
And but the same person, apparently.
Apparently, dude. B.O.B. is produced by Bobby Ray, who is himself, much like a lot of people.
Do you think he got like a production deal for that?
Yeah, I think Bobby Ray is his agent. And so Bobby Ray just takes 15% of B.O.B.'s shit. And Bobby Ray ruined B.O.B.'s career, dude.
Damn, yeah. Apparently, B.O.B.'s manager stole all of his money.
Yeah, and
a guy named
him.
Bobby Ray.
Yeah. That song was called No Man's Land, and that took if you guys only knew the amount of time that was spent trying to figure out that song from 11 years ago. We typed
conference calls. We called minds from both coasts.
Yeah.
We called the coastal elites.
The greatest minds that this country has to offer. Mehedi Savvy in Canton or Fed or wherever the hell he is. And Scott in, I'm assuming, Koreatown. I don't know where Scott is. And they just kept on pulling up the songs we knew weren't it. They were like, is this it? Nothing on you, baby. It's like, that's not it, dude. They kept on pulling up So Good. Said she never had it, which I wasn't okay with because I was like, that's a good song. Dude. Yeah. It's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, I forgot how many classics B.O.B. had.
He really did. It's a weird, the only reason I got on this kick today is because I was driving down the road listening to Mix 106.5, and I was on the Beltway on the home from driving my brother to the airport.
Ooh, where's he going?
He and his girlfriend are going to Clearwater, Florida.
Oh, no.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
It is. Have you been there to Clearwater?
No. One of my my old Game Boys grew up there. One of my gamer friends.
Why do you say, oh, no? Is he like a psycho? Is he going to get him?
No, I just mean like Florida is like all open right now.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I didn't think about that. They're not the ones with the no mask, though. Texas is the one with the no mask.
Yeah, Texas went like 100% no mask for some fucking reason.
Texas is like, don't mess with us, bro.
Guys,
don't mess.
We have a vaccine. We already figured it out. Yeah, but no one has it yet. Yeah, but
don't mess with Texas. And Florida was like, well, Texas is doing it. We better do it too. Except I think, yeah, Florida still has masks or something. I don't.
So what is this like? Technically, like spring break, I guess, or
I don't know what the occasion is. I think his girlfriend's aunt lives down there or something. And I was thinking, like, dude, you're gonna go to Florida. Why don't you go to fucking Miami or something? And he was like, yeah, if I want to spend like $3,000.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, dude, it's still like you're going to Florida. You got to go in Miami. I feel like that's just the city you got to go to. That or like they're like 45 minutes outside of Tampa though.
Yeah, they can go to Tampa. Tampa's another big one.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami's like definitely like the party city, I guess, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to be going to a party city right now either.
I don't think Clearwater's known for their partying, but then again, I know nothing about Florida. Literally nothing. I've never been there.
It's like on the water, but like not the ocean water, I think. It's like bay water type shit. The Gulf, the swamp.
Yeah, the swamp, baby. The Everglades.
And it's like, I think it's kind of ritzy. So maybe they'll stay in like a nice house. I don't know.
I was really trying to push for Dan to have his bachelor party in Miami.
Yeah.
And I realized that it's not a Dan location.
Not at all.
That's not really a location for any of us, really, Miami.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I feel like I'd want to check it out at one point, but like, I mean, Dan's bachelor party was like 3 months after COVID struck.
That's true.
We went to like Rehoboth Beach.
Which
was fun.
COVID had not struck Rehoboth yet, dude. It hadn't found its way there.
Though.
Oh, it did?
I think we talked about it. Like the seagulls were going crazy.
Oh, yeah, the seagulls
The
definitely
wildlife was affected by COVID.
Yeah. Because there weren't any people there. And
there wasn't just trash and food lying around.
Yeah, the gulls were starving, and the purple parrot was starving as well, dude.
Yeah.
The most starving.
For something else, though.
For something else. There was no shortage of that, though. I think that parrot was fine. But I feel like whenever I think about Miami, I just imagine if we had gone, I just imagine us all wearing like
white shorts.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say this. I was gonna deliberate with this. I was imagining at first
white shirts,
like white button-up shirts with like 3 buttons undone, and then like a short sleeve button-up though, like a short sleeve button-up white collared shirt, and then like tucked in to Easter blue shorts with a belt. and then like either
Do we
like
get a boys Latin? What's going on?
I'm imagining I'm imagining everyone in Miami dresses like they went to boys Latin.
Everyone in Miami. I mean, it makes sense. It is kind of like a boat city, right?
Yeah. Like Toms. We'd be wearing like Toms or Sperry's.
Yeah, we'd
But
be wearing Sperry's for sure.
But what you said
All
makes
of our
more
hair
sense.
would be slicked back.
Yes, dude. We'd be looking real Cuban. Dude. We'd be getting Cuban sandwiches and shit. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But what you're saying makes
I
more
was
sense.
imagining like maybe like some some kind of like paisley button-up shirt or like Hawaiian shirt
Paisley.
or whatever, you know, just like a very vibrant pattern shirt with the white shorts, and then maybe
Tucked in, right?
tucked in for sure
With a belt.
with a belt, and then maybe who knows, maybe some Tevas.
Tevas.
Fucking living
Tevas?
adult sandals, baby.
Dude, are you an adult that went to boys Latin? No, bro.
We're adults
We're
now, dude.
fucking
We're 28.
Tevas, bro. Not wearing fucking Tevas in
I'm
Miami.
trying to get the tan lines on my toes.
Getting that Teva tan over here. I'm wearing either Sperry's or just straight flops, which I'm wearing right now,
I probably
baby.
do. You got flops on, holy
Flops.
shit.
I'm in
March
Miami.
11th. It's still winter.
I just realized what I was describing. I didn't even think about this, but what
Yeah.
I just described my Miami outfit was essentially
It's just
my.
a spruced up version of your outfit right now.
I'm wearing a white T-shirt and Easter blue pants.
I'm gonna mod out my white tee with 3 buttons.
Modded out. Which is apparently I was looking up shirts this week because I got a big photo shoot coming up for the
Yeah.
band on Saturday. We're doing a couple locations. We're doing Fells Point during the day,
Nice.
and then we're gonna bring it on back. But I'm thinking like industrial Fells Point though.
Yeah.
You know, not like pier Fells Point where it's like I don't want it to look too pretty.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the more like pretty it looks, the more like I don't know, the more like bar bandy you look. You know, I want to have like a little edge. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
like industrial, like cobblestones more so than piers type of thing. You can see the water in the background, that's fine. But I really want to shoot for that like grungy side of that ever so grungy side of Fells Point.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna bring it back to Lutherville, to the studio, but not at the studio. I'm gonna ask GT Pizza if we can take a couple shots with a pizza.
Ooh, with the skyline picture.
The mural on the back.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
love that
cool.
thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that thing because it's so random.
Yeah.
And it's just like every time I walk back from Dunkin' Donuts, I'm like, that is so ridiculous. Kind of. I don't even. I guess it's supposed to be Baltimore, but
is,
it's cool.
I think, yeah.
So I'm gonna ask them to do that, and then we're gonna at night we're gonna take some shots in Uptown Towson at night. I feel like Towson's more of a nighttime.
Uptown, baby.
Uptown, baby. So we're taking some shots downtown, uptown, and then
the Trill.
and then a picture of downtown.
In the Trill, though.
The Trill. But yeah, I was looking into shirts because we were discussing outfits. And we were like, you know, what should we wear? And my only thought was like, Joe, you can't wear a fucking sweater, dude. We're not Weezer, bro. You're not wearing a fucking sweater. And I thought he was gonna be like, oh yeah, obviously. But then he kind of looked like
It's like, wait, what?
disappointed. He looked like he was
I
like,
wanted to wear a sweater.
I know, like when I
had
said
my
it,
favorite sweater picked out.
when I said it, I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, obviously, dude. But instead he was like, oh, well, I was like, Joe, you're not wearing a fucking sweater or a
Yeah.
band picture.
I mean, honestly, dude,
maybe you can.
you gotta look like that, I think.
Yeah, because they all are basically like, dude, you got to wear like the white T-shirt and black pants. That's like your signature
Yeah.
look.
That's
But
you, dude.
the truth of the matter is, I haven't been rocking that a lot lately.
What do you think, an average Joe's?
No. I'm gonna wear the white T-shirt and black pants.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, because there was a streak there when I was wearing it constantly.
Yeah, nonstop.
And people would say like, Jimmy, you're like a cartoon character because you always have the same outfit. And I was
But
like,
also, like, that's kind of a thing with, like musicians and shit.
yeah. That's the look, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's easy. It's very minimalist, black and white. That's sophomore colors, dude.
Just get like a crisp pack of white tees.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to find white T-shirts on Amazon, dude.
Just go to like Target, dude.
I tried, dude. This one's from Target. And like, I guess as
You're
I'm
trying to get like a very nice white
trying to get like a nice, slim fit, perfectly long T-shirt that like, you know, shirts are like, I don't know if it's a thing of getting older where I just notice it more or if the quality of shirts has gone down. But like, actually, I think it's always been this way. I just never paid attention. But I feel like there's only like 4 shirts that I own that actually truly fit me well.
Yeah, for sure.
And like
I
the
have
other
same
ones,
thing.
it's like I'll be walking around and like the front collar's like choking me all day, or like the fucking sleeve is like too far forward or something, and make my shoulder go like this. It's like, what am I? Why do you make shirts like this? Do I have weird proportions? I don't fucking think so.
I got these shirts online from this company, and like I feel like I got a shirt from them before, and it like fit weird, so I ordered like XL instead of L. Mm-hmm. But then I got the XL in, and the collar was tight as shit.
Oh no!
And everything else just like plumped out, and it looked like I was wearing like a smock or something. Like it was insane. It looked like I was about to get my hair cut.
Yeah. It's such a thing, dude. I remember my ex came back from a vacation. She went across South America, and she came back with a shirt from Peru, and the shirt was cool. It had like Peru's logo, which is like a P with a big swirl. It kind of looks like Poliwag, the Pokemon, and then the Uru. And but like I don't know if Peruvians are built different or like what it is, but like the neck was like this far forward. It was like
it was like a V-neck.
No, it was like only a person that literally was built like this
would just be hunchback.
I am Peruvian.
Was it on backwards?
No, dude. I'm pretty sure
that's what my shirts look like when they're on backwards sometimes.
Yeah, dude. I think all Peruvians are just backwards, dude. Couldn't be that I was wearing the shirt the wrong way. Because who puts the main logo on the... I don't know, dude. I don't know. I got rid of it. I couldn't handle it anymore, dude. I mean,
it's definitely a thing that, like... I know when you buy, like, Japanese clothing, you're supposed to order a size up just because, like, their medium... is set to their population and the statistics in their fucking region. So it's like, they're smaller and they don't want to feel emasculated by buying fucking petite clothing.
Yeah, you don't want to buy petite clothing, dude. You don't want to buy ladyboy sizes, dude.
Give me a medium, but it's actually a fucking XL or XS.
Exactly. But I think Japanese people are the biggest of the Asian countries, so definitely.
Yeah. I mean, North Korea is
they're the smallest.
They're screwing up the statistics of that.
They are, and they also very much take down the world dick average too. They are the smallest dick country. Did you know that?
Hey, thank God.
We discussed it a long time ago when Scott was on the podcast. We talked to before the podcast tonight, and we went through the largest average dick sizes per country. And I remember Greece was bigger than Korea, which I was stoked about. But then Scott was like, but Germany, bro. I was like, dude, you don't identify with your German side, and neither does your dick, bro. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Don't try to play that shit with me. All of a sudden, you're German now that we're talking about dick sizes. No, dude, you got to stick with it because Italians apparently have bigger dicks than Greeks. Actually, no, they don't. They don't.
Ooh.
Greeks, of all the nationalities that I have, Greeks was the biggest. And I've heard that.
But is that like true Greeks or is that like the Turks that came in?
Yeah, the Turks.
Turks brought your game up, or?
I think Greeks have bigger dicks than Turks, dude. I think that's why we got our independence.
Ooh, that's why they tried to take it from you.
Yeah, they tried to take it from us because they had little dick energy, dude. But we got it back, dude. We got it back. Which is odd because for a country that has larger than average European-sized dicks, we always built our statues with small dicks. Because apparently,
humble, dude.
We were humble. We were humble. It was like a pleasant surprise. Like they would build this like buff ass ripped dude in a statue, and then give him this little ass dick. They give him a baby dick. It's like, dude, why would you do that to him, dude? David should have had a fucking Goliath dick.
Well, maybe it was the artist being like, no, that's like a regular sized dick, but look how jacked this dude is. That dick, no, that's like a 9-inch dick.
He built the dick first.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we need the statue to be bigger. He's like, dude, I already sculpted the dick. I was going to make it like half the size. He's like, no, just make the whole, just use the dick. You can use the dick, but we need the statue to be bigger. He's like, trust me, dude, proportionately, if I could have kept it, if I could have had it my way, this guy would have had a fucking schlong.
I mean, I guess also it might have just been a thing where like they didn't want to be like indecent if they had like the statues out in public. You don't want to put like a giant ass dick on like a scholar.
Yeah.
A statue of a scholar.
That's what they say. They saw big dicks as obscene, which they say is like this interesting fact, but it kind of makes sense. Like if you're going to draw a dick, like it's kind of like when you're in anatomy class.
Because you're not trying to make that the center of attention.
Yeah.
If you make it too big, your eyes are going to go directly to it, just like in real life.
You don't. Like, yeah, exactly. It's a fucking...
It's like when you're at the porta potty or the stalls or whatever.
Like, I see shirtless dudes all the time. I don't see pantsless dudes all the time, you know? So if I see a statue of a naked dude, obviously one of my first things that I'm going to check out, I'm going to fucking scope out is the dick,
I
you know?
wasn't saying that. I was just saying in terms of like design, like when you're making art, you have like points of focus that you want the person looking at it to, you know, draw their attention to first, right? So like, let's say the fucking Godzilla poster. First you see the fucking big ass Godzilla.
Yeah.
But then when you're looking at that, you kind of see the smoke and it trails down to those guys on that turned over trailer or whatever.
Yeah, but that's only because you don't see his dick in that picture, dude. If Godzilla had any size dick.
If it was a giant dick, you'd be like, whoa, let me look at that first. But if it was smaller, I bet Godzilla's dick is on there and we just don't even notice because it's so small.
That is true, dude. I don't even know if reptiles have dicks. I actually don't think they do. But
They
you gotta
might.
imagine Godzilla would have a dick. Just because
I mean, they definitely fertilize the eggs somehow,
they have
right?
the same thing that birds have.
They just like push up against each other, right?
you know very well about bird dicks, dude. This is one of your
Yeah.
signature bits. Birds don't have dicks.
Yeah.
They
well,
have what's-
except for ducks.
Ducks
have
do have
giant
dicks. Yeah, most birds don't. Yeah, but ducks do have dicks.
Ducks have like 3.5-foot dicks, and
Yeah.
duck vaginas are basically like the labyrinth in Greek mythology. Like it's ever changing. Like as soon as a duck cracks the lock on the vagina, it'll literally morph to a new maze.
Yeah, it is like a Cinderella type thing.
It's
Like only
fucking
certain
weird.
ducks can fuck certain duck chicks, girl duck, she ducks. But as far as the whole like obscenity of the big dick, it's like it is true. Like, and it's not an ancient thing. It still goes today. Like when I took anatomy class with Miss West, who was one of my favorite teachers. We had to keep this.
She'd always make me show her my dick.
Well, actually, no, because luckily she was a lesbian, I believe. She was really cool. She was a field hockey coach, so that goes without saying. But we had to draw this anatomical man on like the first day of school. And I would carry my books all the time, and I drew this anatomical man with like a very appropriate size dick.
Yeah.
Very appropriate. I drew like my size, to scale. I just traced my dick on the paper.
Did you draw it like a anatomy textbook, or did you draw it like Da Vinci, like the fucking?
It was actually a dude standing like this.
Okay.
Like a dude was like, "What?
Yeah.
What you
What?
looking at my dick?"
Looking at my regular sized dick.
Trust me, dude. There's other stuff to look at here. My dick is normal size.
Did you do it? Did you draw it hard or soft?
I drew it soft, dude. The anatomical man always has a soft dick, bro. Not the fucking diabolical man. But so I drew it that way, and then I took my anatomy notebook to lunch, right? And I was sitting there with like Chris Green, Michael Beckman, a bunch of my senior year lunch table. And when I had gone to get my food, I was unbeknownst to this, but they had opened up my anatomy book, found the guy, and then drew a giant mandingo-sized dick in it right before I turned it in as an assignment. So I walk into class without knowing, and we had to turn in our anatomy books every week to like make sure we did the assignments.
Yeah.
And on the first fucking week of school, I had drawn this dude. I drew it appropriately, but then I handed it in, and I get it back. And she has like a big circle around the dick, and I remember at the top of the page I had written "man" as like this is a man, right?
Yeah.
And then Chris Green wrote dingo, and so I get the thing back, and she actually didn't take off any points for it
hell
because
yeah.
technically there was nothing wrong with like we're drawing a dick, dude. Like I gotta draw. You didn't put any stipulations on what size dick it had to
You
be.
didn't say it couldn't be a tripod.
So that was I was closely acquainted with the anatomical dick drawings, and I recall I was a lot better at drawing back then. I don't know what happened to that skill. It's
You
going
stop.
away.
You just stop doing it and you get rusty.
It's particularly
If you're like in the mode of just doodling all day,
Mm-hmm.
you're a great drawer.
and
That's
that's
what I've
all I was
noticed.
doing in school.
Yeah.
Was doodling. By the way, speaking of Godzilla, we watched a lot of gorilla videos after the last week's podcast, which was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um,
Gorillas are sick.
They are sick, and the one main fact I took away from those videos was when they were doing like the strongest animal proportionate to its body weight, and like the first 3 were bugs, and I was like,
Yeah.
this shouldn't count. The first was like a dung beetle, and the next one was like a Hercules beetle, and I
Yeah.
was like, dude, first of all, Hercules is known for being strong. and dung is shit. So why wouldn't you give the strongest beetle Hercules instead of calling him the shit beetle? And then the runner-up beetle gets to be Hercules? That would piss me off.
The Atlas beetle, dude.
The Atlas
It already
beetle.
looks like it's holding the world.
It does.
Rolling that dung around.
Yeah, but it's not fair that a fucking dung beetle can pick up an unbelievable amount of shit or whatever it picks up, and that gets to be known as like cancel the. It was dung beetle, Hercules beetle, then ant.
I feel like dung beetle is like the first nickname that turned into a scientific name.
Yeah. When people still use the word dung.
Well, yeah, but also it's just like, yeah, I'm looking at this shit. It's carrying dung. It looks like a beetle. I'm gonna call it a dung beetle.
I'm gonna weigh both of these things, the beetle and the dung. And if it's strong enough, I'm not gonna call him Hercules. But yeah, the top 3 were bugs, and then the 4th one
was gorilla.
Which I think takes the whole gorilla versus bear argument back on its face. That video we watched did not help, by the way.
No, we watched a video that was like, what's the max weight a gorilla could lift or something, right?
Yes.
And I thought they were literally gonna have like a gorilla in like gyms, just like doing fucking deadlifts and all that other shit.
I feel
Turned
like
out to be some weird simulation, and then it was like gorilla versus a bear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they turned on like this weird 3D simulation of a Yeti fighting a bear.
like
it wasn't even
snowman.
a gorilla. It was the abominable snowman.
And the bears were literally just like the worst CPUs ever. The bears were just sitting there.
Yeah, they just were chilling, and the abominable snowman would just come up and fuck them up. And they're like, yeah, so pretty much gorillas would win.
And what pissed me off the most about that video is the first half of that video was good.
Yeah.
It was like giving a bunch of facts. It's like bear, aggressiveness, 5 stars. Gorilla, 4 stars. I was like, dude, are you just winging all these ratings?
I think so.
Gorilla intelligence, 5 stars. Bear, 3 stars. I was like, damn, dude, bears can be smart. Not as smart as gorillas, but come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a terrible video. But the agreed upon thing is that a bear would beat a gorilla, and that's mainly based off of the fact that bears, a full size grizzly bear gets bigger than a full-size silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
By like 200 pounds. But
well, and then also it's just like the bear has like its claws. Like the bear can do more damage quickly than the gorilla could. And also apparently gorillas aren't even that aggressive.
They're not aggressive, but they'll fuck you up if they have to.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, a gorilla...
And their like bite force was enough to like crack a fuck... I don't even know what it was.
Dude,
it was insane.
They had the strongest bite force, I believe. Mm-hmm. Stronger than a bear. Stronger bite force than a bear. They're probably not even proportionally. If a gorilla is only like 150, 200 pounds smaller than a bear, but is vastly stronger for its body weight than a bear is, because I don't know where the bear fits. Maybe it's number 5. Gorilla's number 4, but I didn't see a bear on number 5.
Yeah,
I didn't see him in the top 5.
No.
So there's a chance that gorillas are as strong as bears, even though they're a little bit smaller. And also, if you can train a chimp to do that fucking memory game thing, that thing that he was doing, you can definitely train a gorilla to bench press.
Oh, yeah.
I know chimps are smarter than gorillas, but like...
Well, they're showing gorillas doing like sign language. You could just be like, hey, pick that fucking shit up over there. See how many times you can do it.
Yeah, dude, you could teach a gorilla to do that.
Yeah.
And I can't believe no one has it.
They don't want to make them any stronger.
Yeah, dude. You don't want fucking actual fucking weightlifting gorillas, but you kind of do. I kind of do.
I want to see at least one.
They should do it with one. Would that be considered animal cruelty?
Not if you liked it.
This is gonna sound bad. Because it's terribly cruel.
Yeah, you only want them to do it if they don't like it?
No. I was going to the animal fights thing. We love bug fights.
Yeah.
But we love bug fights because...
they're so strong.
They're so strong. If I want to watch true strength, I want to watch a praying mantis versus a fucking tarantula. That's true strength. But when I'm down in the bush leagues watching real full-size animals, look, I think in the Roman times, we used to have actual humans fight each other to the death.
Yeah.
Even up until like, if Django Unchained is a true movie, we used to have fucking people fight to the death for entertainment.
Dude, they probably had a real bear versus gorilla fight.
They probably have. And like, okay, here's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I want gorilla and bear fighting to be
legal.
No.
But we at least need one recorded for science.
Just one. Just to settle the score.
Everyone, all the top minds have been asking for this for years.
Do you know, it's like It's like, like it's like with porn, for instance. Like, for instance, today I came across a Scooby-Doo porn. I never personally cared, but like if you are gonna like, Daphne was definitely hot. Daphne was definitely hot. Velma wasn't hot in the cartoon, but any like movie they made of Velma was a fucking smoke show. Yeah. Like Velma in the live action.
You can't have like an Elgo in a fucking major motion picture.
You can't. Velma literally like, oh my God. When girls dress up as Velma for Halloween, it's like, thank you. Thank God you didn't dress up as Scoob.
Sexy Scooby.
Sexy Scooby. When girls are picking out the outfits, like, yeah. I'm gonna be Daphne, I'm gonna be Velma. And it's like, well, Sharon, you gotta be Scoob.
Yeah.
I'd literally rather be Fred.
I can't imagine how many because I think I've at least seen like one whenever like hot girls do that Scooby-Doo shit. They always have like one token black friend be like, and you can be Scooby. And it's like, really? Fuck you, dude.
Well, you can't be Shaggy.
Why can't I be Daphne? I'm hotter than you.
Yeah, dude. Velma is supposed to be thick, dude. You gotta be, if you're really, it is the thicker chick should be Velma. The skinnier chick should be Daphne. And then, like, that's really it. That's really the only two Scooby characters.
You can also just have a real dog be Scooby-Doo.
Or you could really, girls like dressing up as sexy animals. You could have a sexy Scoob.
Sexy Scoob.
She would just be wearing like a crop top, like a brown and black polka dots crop top with like a fucking skirt and like dog ears, like the real life dog
collar.
Face filter, a collar. That could be sexy, dude.
A Scooby-Doo collar.
In fact, I think if a creative enough, because I will say this. If a group of 3 girls decided to go out as the Scooby-Doo characters, I would respect the Scooby one the most. Because that one takes the most creativity and vision. Anybody can throw on a fucking neckerchief and a purple polo and a skirt and red hair and look like a hot Daphne. Anybody can throw on the nerd glasses and a bob and the collared sweater with a skirt and pull off a sexy Velma. But it takes a real woman. It takes a real woman to be sexy Scooby.
I'm just imagining or rethinking about like Mean Girls whenever they're like doing their sexy costume for Halloween, and Lindsay Lohan was just straight up like a bunny or some shit.
Yeah.
And not a sexy one at that.
Just like the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
The least sexy of all bunnies.
Honestly, great movie.
Yeah.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, great movie. I think
we're not in the target audience, but
I saw that my brother decided to buy that on Comcast this month, which is why my Comcast bill was $190.
Holy shit.
Like, dude,
no, it's crazy. Mine's like $140 a month.
It's outlandish.
It's insane.
It's outlandish. And don't get me wrong, we do a lot of on-demanding, but like rent the fucking movie, dude. Rent the movie. You're fucking buying shit. Like,
do it on Amazon Prime for like 99 cents.
But the reason I bring up the whole Scooby thing is because like there is a market of people who like they see these shows and they're like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, whenever you're on a porn site and like in the tab thing, like in the sidebar, there's like fucking Lois from Family Guy getting banged by somebody. And you're like, all right, cool. Or like, you get to watch Marge Simpson blowing a fucking whatever. Like, you need to have a real video to cater to placate those desires, and everyone wants to see a gorilla versus bear. So I just feel like if we all as a society just agreed just one time, just let it happen one time, dude. Just once. First of all, what are you not going to watch it? You're such a good person, you're not going to fucking watch it. Give me a break.
Yeah, right.
Even if you pretend you're not going to watch it, even if you sit there and be like, even if you're listening to this podcast being like, this is so cruel, you're going to have 2 animals fight each other. It's like, all right, well then don't fucking watch it, dude.
Yeah, bro.
I guarantee
turn off Planet Earth then.
Yeah, exactly. Animals fight all the time. Just film it.
Just film
it.
Put cameras everywhere. And then also put gorillas and bears everywhere.
Yeah, do they even live in the same habitat? I don't even know.
I don't think so. They might, honestly. I don't know. Where are gorillas? Like,
Africa?
Are they sub-Saharan Africa?
Yeah.
I don't think there are any bears over there. There's some Asian bears, though.
Asian bear isn't taking a gorilla.
There might have been some back in the day, back on old Pangea.
Oh, yeah. Pangea. There's probably so many good gorilla bear fights back before tectonic plates moved and shit.
Dude, back before the Earth had to call it quits.
Yeah, the Earth was like, all right, we've seen enough.
All right, breaking this up.
Gorillas and bears just had to go to different continents, dude. They were fucking each other up too much, and now we'll never know. There's got to be some cave drawing of a cave. Because cavemen wanted to see that shit, dude.
Cavemen lived for that shit.
What else are they watching, dude? They're watching fucking gorillas versus bears. And bug fights.
Bug fights are transcend all time.
I would imagine well, first of all, animal fighting has always been a primary form of entertainment in like every culture. It's only recently that we decided even like cockfighting isn't.
Well, honestly, fucking Pokemon, the origin for that is like in old Japan. Fucking people would like collect beetles. They would like collect beetles around their area, and then like they'd have their favorite beetle, and then they'd enter it into like bug fights.
And I think that should still be fine. Bugs don't have brains, dude. I mean, they have brains, but like they don't really know what's going on, dude.
Yeah, dude, you're giving it snacks.
Yeah, they don't. Do they feel pain? Bugs don't feel pain, dude. You can literally watch
so.
a fucking mantis eat a thing head first, and the bug's just like, "What's going on? What's going on? Is somebody eating my non-existent brain?"
Bugs don't live that long anyway, so like at least for most of like the prey, like flies and shit, they live for like 3 days.
Yeah, dude. Nobody wants to see a fly fight.
Yeah, no. But if like a praying mantis like chops an eye off a fly, it's not gonna be like, I had so much to live for. It's gonna be like, yeah, I already fucked like 20 million times.
Yeah, dude.
I got 80 million grandchildren. And
I got maggots in every zip
lived
code,
a long
bitch.
life.
Actually, cockfighting's such a thing that Sig, when he got back from Puerto Rico, got me this license plate that translates to "My sport is cockfighting."
Oh my god.
That's how popular it is, dude. That's like a tourist attraction.
Deporte son los gallos.
They even have the little razor blade on the back of their things.
Oh shit! Oh my
I know,
god.
isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
That's just one of those.
Are you
things.
gonna put that on your car?
Might. I think I do need. I do need a front license plate because I'm convinced that there is like a guy that follows around my car and every month just hits my front license plate with a fucking hammer. Like every fucking month I come out and my license plate is just further jammed in. It's like, who is doing this, dude? Who is doing this? I park in a fucking garage. Like there's nobody in front of me. There's no, and like, you know.
Like just keep banging the wall or?
No, dude, I'm not banging the wall. I would know if I was banging the wall, dude. Oh, no.
You?
I've banged. Would you bang a wall?
I've banged a wall before.
We talked about that last podcast. I'm done with walls, bro. I'm done banging walls, dude. I'm done, all right? Don't bring that shit up on this podcast. This is episode 228, dude. We're over that, bro.
Oh, shit.
Sensitive topic, dude. Nah, dude.
Do you know how much shit I got for that?
Keep it on the hush-hush, dude. No, I'm not banging walls. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need a new fucking license plate.
Damn.
And this could be
don't. I'd say don't use that one. Just because I feel like it's like it's not worth whatever it will come from having it on your car.
Puerto Rico is a fucking state, dude.
I understand that. It's not a state. It's a U.S. province.
Okay, it's territory, yes.
It's a territory. But also like if a cop sees that and they know what it fucking means.
At the very least, they're going to think I'm Latino and pull me over, dude.
Yeah,
At the very least.
Exactly, dude. And it's coming up to summer. You're going to get tan, dude.
Oh, dude.
You're going to get so tan.
They're going to pull.
You're going to look like a day laborer, dude.
Shouldn't you be out front of Home Depot this time of day?
Oh, how'd you get this car, huh? Something about cockfighting?
Yeah, man. Fucking cockfight. But the other thing they do in Mexico, which is not a state or a U.S. territory.
The donkey show?
The donkey
That's
show.
what you're bringing up.
Did I tell you about?
Did you go to one?
No, I've never been to
Oh, thank
Tijuana.
God.
I met a girl from Tijuana, though.
Yeah?
Sounds
Did
awesome.
she fuck a donkey?
No, I don't think so. I didn't ask.
I thought that was like their quinceañera thing.
Well, when I was in Hairway to Steven getting my haircut, we were discussing, and I think this might have been partially what led to that one guy getting all pissed off about stuff. But we were discussing, if you were in Tijuana, would you go to one? Would you watch one? And I thought, first of all, it was a very good question because I'd like to front right now and say I wouldn't, but I would. I'd watch it. I'd go. It's part of the fucking culture, dude. That would be disrespectful if I
It's part
didn't.
of the culture.
It is, dude.
Okay, Anthony Bourdain.
Dude, look, man, I don't go to places and decide for them what's right and wrong, all right? I have my own American, Western, European, Eastern, whatever the fuck I am, values, but like if I go to Tijuana, Mexico's West Coast, baby. The fresh coast.
I'm not here to like judge or anything. And I'm not saying that I'm saying for me, if it was like a thing where it was like all planned out, I don't have to do it. I don't want to look for a donkey show.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. I want to be like, no, dude, I looked
asking around for
I was
it.
on Google for like 9 hours. This is the best one in the city.
I did this
I'm not
before I
trying to do
bought
that
tickets.
shit. Yeah, like this has a 3-month wait list. I put us all in back in September.
Front row.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess depending on the situation, I don't think I would say no to going to one. Of
course
but I would never set that up, and I would never plan on going to one in Tijuana.
Yeah, I wouldn't plan on it. But apparently, if movies are correct, then apparently you just walk down the street and some shady guy is going to be like, hey, donkey show? And then you're like, is this legit? Is this a legit donkey show? Because I don't want to go to something fucked up.
I'm not trying to go to some pony show.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I've been tricked before.
Yeah, I'd watch it. It's like, who cares, dude? Who fucking cares? It's not even really like, is that considered animal cruelty? Like, there's a lot of things, like, is that considered animal cruelty?
I'm not sure, but was there just some like weird like different culture kind of like bad translation where they heard the phrase dog and pony show and they're like, oh yeah, let's get our dogs to fuck the donkeys.
And they were like, but instead of dogs, women.
Well, no, they're being degrading to women. By
Oh,
putting
yeah.
dogs.
That's how they go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think, well, everybody in the barbershop
not
agreed
sending
they'd
the
watch
best.
it. Not sending the best. All the good ones are back in Mexico. Fucking donkeys, apparently.
Oh shit!
Send
That
them over
was
here.
the OG OnlyFans, dude. Dude, I've been having to do a bunch of research on like fishing and shit for a video we're about to do.
Nice.
Which is cool, and it's like making me want to go fishing again. But the amount of like female fishermen that also have OnlyFans is
Really?
wild. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that subculture.
Do they incorporate?
Like, I think that's like the like Midwest version of like, I don't even know, like, because there's like a weird thing now where it's like, all right, you're an e-girl. Now you have like a hot Twitter and then go into OnlyFans or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the New York, LA approach. But
Yeah.
like the Bible Belt, they're just getting big on fishing Instagram. And then they slip in some bikini pics with
There we go.
fishing.
There we go.
And then they're like, hey, check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, there's a big, and this is a universal trend that I don't know if I'm behind, which is that there's always been this weird thing with dudes where they're like, dude, like you see like a chick like shooting a gun or like throwing a football really well or like doing like, and they find that like attractive. I personally never have. Like, not that I find it unattractive, but like it seems weird to me that like it's a turn on when you see a girl like doing some super like,
Yeah, I
You
get
know what I mean?
that.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's like
It's
a
like-
girl, like, oh, whoa, she's doing guy shit.
yeah, it's not
That's
that I'm-
crazy.
yeah.
I do guy shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm saying like I don't want a girl to be able to throw a football or to shoot a gun, but it's like you can do that, but that's not necessarily what's gonna fucking like get me going. Like, oh yeah, look at that. She can fucking throw a football farther than me. That turns me on. It's like, oh, okay, dude. Sounds like you might want a boyfriend, bro. Like,
Sounds like you gotta go to the gym, bro.
yeah, like, dude, you got bigger problems. Log off of OnlyFans. Fucking get the gym going, bro. Jesus Christ. But like, even with like our version of that, like you said, is like, there's a lot of girls that have their OnlyFans, and then they just stream them playing video games on Twitch. And I'm assuming that that's literally just like they're just wearing like hot clothes. What is that called? Boob streamers. They had that thing from a while back where girls just like, it's just a hot girl. Like one of my favorite Instagram models, Natalie Roosh. I love her. She's my favorite. I actually was very close to DMing my friend who lives out in LA who's an Instagram model and be like, have you met Natalie Roosh? Can you? Send her a link to the
You want
podcast.
to be on the podcast?
You think we could get that going? But thank God I did not do that. It's always an idea that crosses my mind when I'm blacked out drunk at 3 a.m.
Hell
Did Jimmy
yeah.
just DM me to hit up a more famous model
That I've never met.
that I've never met? I probably, but yeah, she's always advertising like I'm streaming BioShock tonight or something, and I'm like, we've already been over why I'd never fucking do that and watch that because I don't want to give up hope that I might actually one day meet this girl. You know,
I feel like that's a conflict though, because I feel like you like watching people play video games.
I do, but only because I like my friends being around me, and sometimes that's the only option.
True.
Because you guys like playing video games, and I like you guys. I don't necessarily like video games. I don't mind them, but like, you know, it makes you guys happy, and it makes me unhappy when I have to play because I suck. And so instead of degrading myself by joining you, I just sit back and watch and just kind of am like the girlfriend of the group. Like, you guys do your boy things. I'll go get us some drinks, bake some cookies and stuff. I'm fine with that role in our friend group, dude. I really am.
Dude, no, it's gonna be hot though when you
What?
start fucking gaming and catching fish.
Oh,
All the boys are gonna be like, "Whoa,
whoa.
Jimmy's catching fish.
Jimmy's angling now? He's angling?
Jimmy's doing guy shit."
Yeah, dude, that might be the problem, dude. That might be the problem. You know, I like,
You gotta get an OnlyFans.
I gotta
what
get an
I'm-
OnlyFans.
That's the conclusion I'm drawing.
I gotta do, well, girls do guy shit, so I gotta get an OnlyFans and do like girl shit.
You guys are doing girl shit, dude. That's 2021.
Yeah.
We gotta appropriate hot girl shit.
But what's a hot girl thing to do other than do guy shit?
We gotta twerk.
Twerk?
We gotta
Can't
bust
twerk.
it.
Can't twerk. Can't dance, so that's
We gotta
off the table.
scam a Birkin bag off someone.
Ooh, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the most easily accessible girl shit that I'd be able to do.
Astrology.
I could learn astrology. That is weird. Like, that is weird that like that's a primary. It's a girl religion. It's
Yeah.
like it's like no dude is really into it. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think there are some dudes that are into it, but there are also mostly dudes that are into it to get girls that are into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's like, first of all, I don't want to believe in astrology because my sign apparently is like the dickhead. Like, I'm a Leo, dude, and Leos apparently are like self-centered and conceited and always the center of attention and blah 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 blah.
And yes, some of that's true. But I'll believe in that shit.
Some of that's true, yeah. Like, I'll read the horoscopes and I'm like, I agree with all the good shit, but that bad shit doesn't sound anything like me.
That's not me.
It's not me, dude. All the good shit though, that's me though, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the appeal of like all that shit. Where it's just like you kind of read into it what you want to take out of it.
Yeah.
Especially like all of the weekly like horoscope shit where it's like there's going to be a new path opened on your life and you got to look out for it or else the a window shuts, but hey, this door is locked. So make sure you jump through the window.
I believe in Chinese fortune cookies more than I believe in horoscopes.
Those are dope.
I really do take those to heart. I really do. Only when I eat them, though. I do eat them.
It's weird that they come with like betting numbers. I've never used that.
I've never used it either.
Like your lucky numbers.
This one guy, when I pulled up in front of my apartment building, looked at my license plate, and it's 2DJ 2500, and he told me to play 2500. And I have not done it yet, but I will someday. Next time I get like I don't even know how to play a number. I don't even know how I would
either.
do that. Like,
Yeah.
walk in the store, be like, hey, can you give me a 2500? The guy's like, what? 2500 what?
Is this a stick up or?
Some guy told me to play 20. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, fuck.
2500 on what, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I know it always confuses me too. Keno. I never understand what that shit is, but it's in like every single bar.
Yeah.
And there's like a dedicated TV to just roll out balls.
Yeah, or-
24/7.
Or it's like the fucking fake horse racing, which is always a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's like you're betting on fake shit, dude.
Yeah. It's all been calculated. Like they know who's gonna win.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't even bet on real horse racing, although that I think is like the one sport. Well, it was the one sport you could bet on in Maryland until now, which now you can bet on all sports,
Okay.
which is good. And
That's
now
tight.
I feel like that's the death of Keno, dude. Because who's betting Keno when you can bet on fucking NBA?
Yeah, Keno is like a prohibition shit that like popped up.
Is it?
Well, not in the sense of it came in during prohibition, but it's like gambling was illegal and Kino was the workaround.
I think I got a better shot of just learning astrology, dude. I think that's my better move. I think that is. I don't know who I'm compatible with. I don't know who Leos are compatible with. But I tell you, dude, I don't know if it's a type of girls that I meet or what it is, but like virtually all of them. I think every girl is at least baseline into it. You know, like every girl at least knows more about it
That's
than I do.
I mean, it is like the thing right now. I mean, it's been the thing for the last couple of years, but it's like definitely like baseline girl knows about astrology.
Yeah, it's like part of your girl education, dude.
Yeah, it's in their DNA.
It is. Astrology, dude. Astrology.
That's what the A stands for.
They
Everyone thought it meant dick and ass. But
That's guy DNA, dude. Dick and ass. Girl DNA is dinner and astrology.
it's the worst version of Netflix and chill I can imagine.
But somehow that has been all my dates, dude. Dinner and astrology. They're like, oh, you want me to do your birth chart? And I have to not say that I've gotten my birth chart done by the previous 6 girls I've talked to. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd be interested to know the same shit I already know that I believe is half true on the good side.
Oh yeah, what time did I get born? This is gonna take a second. Oh, yeah, here it is.
7:17
Had it queued
a.m.
up. Sorry.
I just, it's just amazing how like defensive some of them get, and it's like, look, I agree that there's certainly something to it. Like, but I think it's more closer to home reasons for it. Like, for instance, I was discussing this the other day, and I would say that if you're a baby who's born in the winter, your first introduction to the world is coming into a world that's cold and uncomfortable. Like if you're like, let's say you're born around where we were.
Yeah.
In fucking December. So it's cold outside. Every time you step into the outside world, your first impression of the outside world is cold, uncomfortable. You got to get all bundled up. People are generally more reserved. They're not as outgoing. They seem generally more just not even like even today I took a walk because it was a beautiful day today. Took a walk around town and left my phone at home, just fucking did the whole thing. And I found myself just being happier. I was like, wow, I'm happy because it's a nice day. My spirit is up. I feel good. That's generally how people are during the spring and summer and things like that. Like people are generally happier. Yeah. So if you're a baby,
there's a whole thing like fucking seasonal depression, dude.
Yeah.
Like
so
people get sad when it's cold.
Yeah, it's such a thing, dude. That is a true thing. That is a true thing. But like if you're a baby and your first impression of the world is just meeting a bunch of people with seasonal depression, it might subliminally or subconsciously kind of change the way it's your first impression of the world.
Dude, it fucked us up.
Yeah.
Big time.
But I was born in August, bro. So I got like a little taste of happiness, and then
I had a little in September.
Yeah, you had a little bit of, you had a little, you were born, September 20th, right?
Yeah.
So you were born a day before fall. Last day of summer, you pop out, you're like, oh, what's up, boys? Let's go to the beach. And then like a week later.
Discount rates at OC.
Yeah. And then a week later, fucking cold. You're like, oh, damn, you guys got me, dude.
Come on, man.
You got me. But like, so I could see how certain things like that and like where you're born, the people you're around could definitely affect shit. But like, as far as like the alignment of the stars and shit, like I get, yeah, we're all stardust and blah, 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 fucking blah. But I don't know. I just don't know if I can get behind personality traits being determined by those things, you know?
Yeah. I understand more so the effect of stars being in different places having effects on us just because fucking the moon creates our current for the oceans and we're fucking stuck on this planet because of gravity. Yeah. Like I understand all those natural forces working and sometimes maybe those can affect you. Like maybe in the slightest ways. Like if Mercury's in retrograde or whatever, you know,
whatever that means, but yeah,
classic girl shit, whatever that means. I understand that more than I do, like fucking the difference between like a Virgo and a Leo or whatever else. Like, yeah, I don't know how that makes sense, but.
And didn't they recently change them too? Like, didn't they like change up a couple dates and like try to add another one and some shit? The fucking astrology panel of the universe.
That might have been with Pluto and astronomy.
Once Pluto, they were like, oh, fuck, that's a whole
Pluto's
sign.
A planet again. Now we got to bring back fucking Cancer has 3 more days.
Australopithecus or something. We got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. Here's an interesting thing about girls, though. Very interesting, I found. I was listening to some lecture on YouTube in the background, and everyone is aware that a woman's menstrual cycle syncs up with the moon cycle. That's like kind of, which is really kind of interesting. It's like, because I don't
basically
think
have like an ocean of blood in their body,
and it like that is unbelievable. Like I can understand why women would be more catered to astrology because they are more connected to the earth.
Yeah, for sure.
Men just kind of roam around. We're just kind of like, ooh, we're trying to plant our seed, but the women are the
We're
earth.
Johnny Appleseed, baby.
Yeah, we're not connected. We're fucking.
We're walking around dumping loads everywhere.
Yeah. I can fuck 7 days a week, bro. 7 days a week has nothing to do with the moon. I don't care what the moon's doing.
I'm just talking about beating.
Oh yeah,
about
that's
beating
what I
off,
meant
dude.
by fucking, dude. That's what I meant by fucking, dude. Catch up. Catch up.
Catch up. I've been fucking since I was 11. Okay, catch up.
And then the slightly lesser known fact is that if you have a group of girls living together,
They all sync up.
They all sync up.
Yeah.
But not just they all sync up, they sync up to the alpha female. So whoever is the most dominant female in that group,
Interesting.
the other girls will sync in accordance with her. And the explanation for that was that back in the day, in our animal days, if you had like a tribe of people and the men pretty much, being a guy 100,000 years ago is probably so much better, dude. Like probably so much better. Like you just
Go
had
out
like,
and fucking hunt shit.
yeah, you go out and hunt shit. You have like a gaggle of girls that you're like, depending on how dominant you are, you got like fucking 4 or 5 main chicks. It's pretty, I mean, you can't do that anymore. You can, but frowned upon. So like, you know, but back in the day that was standard, bro. Standard. So like you'd have like a gaggle of 5 girls, right? Because you're dominant, dude. You're running shit. You beat up all the other dudes. You hunt better. You're funnier in caveman speak or whatever. The reason why the women sync up to the main bitch, I would say, to put it lightly, is that if the main alpha female is menstruating, then that means that the alpha male is gonna be fucking the other chicks. But if they're all on their period at the same time,
Can't fuck any of them.
can't get any of them pregnant. And so it was kind of like an evolutionary thing where it's like, well, if you can't fuck me,
Evolutionary thing to stop cheating?
well, not necessarily cheating, but I guess, but like stop like other women from producing more offspring than her. Like if you're the guy's main chick and he's banging you like 3 weeks out of the month, but then he fucking sends you a fucking carrier pigeon and you're like, ooh, you can come over tonight, but I'm on my period. And he's like, fuck that, dude. I'm banging one of my other wives tonight. But all your other wives are also like, ah, shit, I'm on my period too. And he's just like, what are we going to do now? And then they all get off at the same time. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll just go back to my main chick again. I'm not sure that's exactly how it worked back in the day. Because if they're anything like us, they're plowing through it. But still, it was
They had
evolutionary.
towels back then.
They had towels, dude. You need towels, dude. You get the fucking dirt dirty. It's dirt. It's already by definition dirty.
Yeah, that's where they came up with the name Dirt Devil. Why do you think the vacuums are red?
That is where they came up with it, dude. But I found that incredibly interesting. So when I think of things like that our mood is changed by the seasons, and B, women are literally their entire reproductive cycle end by indirectly their mood.
Yeah, they basically connect to the same Wi-Fi and sync up.
Yeah. So women are part of the earth. So maybe astrology does apply, but only for women.
Maybe.
I'd be willing to say that. I'd be willing to say astrology is real for girls.
What is guys' version of astrology, though?
Fantasy football.
Fantasy football.
I would say the same chicks, like a basic chick is going to be super into astrology and a basic dude is going to be super into like fantasy sports.
Yeah,
I would say
that
that's
plays out.
Yeah, that's the guy equivalent. And I'm neither. I'm not a fantasy sports guy.
I don't do fantasy sports.
I would probably sooner get into astrology than getting into drafting other men my own age on my fake team. I did that when I was 11.
Yeah.
But now I'm 28. So
what was your team's name again?
the Towson Spiders. I had a real fantasy
If
football
I can't
team.
have the Towson Spiders in my league, I don't want to play.
What's the point? Honestly, what's the point, dude? What's the point? That's why I don't play Madden anymore, because I'm afraid that if I do, I'm gonna wind up creating the Towson Spiders and to be way more pathetic when I am a grown man and create myself as a player. But now that when you create yourself as a player when you're an adult, you're much more honest.
Yeah.
And if I was
Well,
honest,
they have like cameras now. They'll take a picture of you and be like, "No, this is you," and you're like, "That doesn't look like me. Can I change it?" No, this is you.
no, this is you wanted you, right?
You wanted you. You can play you or any of the famous.
Sure, you don't want to be
people,
Adrian fucking. I can't even think of a football player. Adrian Eichholz
from the Towson Spiders.
Towson Spiders. You sure you don't want to be fucking Saquon Barkley because he's 99 speed? No. Oh, you want to be Jimmy Selesky? Okay, dude, you have 13 agility. No. You're not 6'3", 240. You are 6'1.5".
You're wearing a Peruvian shirt, and you have a hunchback now because of it.
Yeah, dude. Because when I was a kid, when you're a kid, you can create these players and be like, ooh, when I'm older, like after puberty, bro, I'm probably gonna be like at least 94 speed.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna be like 230, 6'4", and like I could probably compete. And now it's like I am that age, and I'm like, oh damn, if I just put like me 6'2", 200, like not an impressive lowly percentage of body fat, and just like I'm getting mopped up, dude. I'm getting mopped up, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to see myself in that game.
No.
So I'm not playing it because it's the only way I'm playing that game, dude. If I can create.
Well, if you make yourself and then make it like the best version of yourself, you're always just like forced to look at that and be like, damn, why don't I live up to that?
Even the best version of myself could not compete in the NFL. I'm convinced of that.
Dude, you with abs though?
Dude, me with abs is getting fucking sacked, bro. Like, look, when I was younger, this is a real reality that I think everyone needs to accept. And they don't tell you this when you're younger, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't tell you. This is something you should figure out as you get older. Because
Yeah, ease into it.
It's useless information when you're a kid, and it's actually detrimental to your development to know this as a kid. But what you will realize when you're an adult, so if you're a kid, take this with a grain of salt. If I practiced every day for the rest of my life at basketball, I would never be as good as Michael Jordan. And this is something that, again, people say hard work, blah blah blah. Hard work is true, but also
I don't know. You never know because you haven't done it.
life is about finding what is your best foot forward. What is the thing you do best, and then work at that. Because talent does play a role, and I learned that big time in sports when I was a kid. I learned that, like there was this guy. He's going to the Olympics now for wrestling. Pat Downey.
Michael Phelps.
Oh, by the way,
Michael Phelps. Are you talking about Michael Phelps?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Switched over.
Oh,
Just double
cool.
check.
Okay, cool. Because I wouldn't shut the fuck up. It was like, wait, Jimmy's still rambling about Pat Downey when you're up Michael Phelps, dude. Shut up.
Hey, grew up down the street from me and went to our high school.
Yeah, dude. And he's also there's a park called Olympian Park right at the Towson Circle, which I always knew was called Olympian Park, but I didn't know they have all the Olympians from Towson, like with little obelisks there. And Michael Phelps is there. And on his plaque, it says most decorated Olympian of all time. And I was like, that's pretty badass. He's from our hometown. It's pretty cool. But Pat Downey is from Baltimore. I don't know what part of Baltimore. I think like Overley area maybe. But he's going to the Olympics for wrestling this year. And I believe it's, Beijing?
No, Japan. I
Japan.
think.
Okay. He was a standout wrestler in high school. I mean, like, he was a 3-time state champion. I think he came third his freshman year and then won states his sophomore through senior year. He had some troubles in college. He got kicked out of a couple schools. And I don't think he ever wound up. I think he wound up competing in the NCAA like national tournament like once. I don't think he fared that great. He might have been an All-American, but he didn't win it. And so he basically didn't really have a college career to speak of outside of like junior college and stuff. So he kind of just went straight to
the Olympics.
The professional level, the international level. And so he basically, the way you get on the Olympic team is you have to be the best wrestler in your country at your weight class. So he essentially is the national champion as weight class because he's going to the Olympics for that weight. That's a guy that you would watch in high school, and there's standout athletes like that. Look, hard work and talent work in tandem with each other. If you take a talented guy if you take one guy, person A, who is twice as talented as person B, if person B works twice as hard as person A, they'll meet in the middle. So you can beat a guy who's more talented than you if you work harder. But if person A, who's twice as talented as you, also works just as hard as you, he's beating you.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Because he's got a head start. And so when you look at the greatest in the world, the people who are the greatest in the world at something are people who are born with a God-given talent or proclivity, predisposition to something, and then work as hard as someone who doesn't have that. That's how you get the Michael Jordans and the Pat Downeys and the Michael Phelpses and things like that. So when I say that hard work can only get you so far, what I mean is if you truly want to make it to the NBA and you're not a particularly talented basketball player, I believe that if you worked hard enough, any able-bodied person could make it to the NBA. But I don't believe any able-bodied person could be the next LeBron James or the next Michael Jordan, because that is an example of somebody who had all the talent in the world and also works their asses off. You know what I mean?
I get that.
So when I say that I don't think the best version of myself would be able to compete in the NFL, maybe that's not entirely true. Maybe if I worked day in, day out and dedicated my life to going to the NFL, I might have barely made it. But I do not think I would have been a Ray Lewis or a Tom Brady or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And the reason I say that is because...
Yeah, you were never that good.
Yeah. But, dude, I sucked at football. Dude, I played 6 years of rec football and was the fourth string fullback on JV in high school.
Dude, I remember when Mehedi wanted to quit football. I remember it was like senior year. And he was just like, damn, dude, like I spent so much time doing all this shit, but now I'm like... I mean, I can either just play out the rest of this year and not do it ever again or just stop now. And it's the same shit.
Yeah. Well, there's just a certain point. Like, if you're going to give up, look, life is about, it's like a game of poker, dude. It's like a game of poker. Like I said at the beginning of this little ramble, it's about finding what is it that you do best? What is your best foot forward? What do you love doing and what are you good at? And when you find what you're good at, the thing that you're most talented at, you work at that. You work at that. And it doesn't hurt to work at a bunch of other things when you're developing and younger. Like, you know, I personally believe that all kids should have at some point in their lives played sports because it gives you an example of working and competing and learning how to lose and all these things I talked about before. But at a certain point, you have to realize that, you know, you have to be realistic about your limitations. You have to be realistic about your limitations and not go all in on a hand that you can't win with. You don't go all in with a pair of twos. You just don't. All right? So you fold that hand and you wait till you get a better hand, something that you can work with, and then you go all in on that. Because in my opinion, if you don't go all in on something in life, then what the fuck are you doing? You need to go all in on something. You only got one life, dude. So go all in on something. But if you're going to go all in on something, make it your best hand, your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm not playing Madden, dude. Kids, you can tune back in now. You can tune back in now, kids. We were just talking about how hard work pays
Madden
off.
Fans,
Yeah.
come back in.
Hard work pays off and blah, 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 fucking blah. It's just the reality of life, dude. It's not a bad thing either. It's not a bad thing, dude.
No.
It's just true, dude. And everybody has something they're good at, probably. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't even know if I can philosophically handle this next question, but is it true that not that all men are created equal in that they all deserve the same rights, but is it a valid statement to say that all people have the same capacity?
I don't know, because a lot of people are just dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely luck that comes into it, for sure.
Yeah. It's just a weird sketchy area to get into. But if you're being really honest, you know, there's people that are smarter than us. They're just smarter than us. And if you take a fucking genius, and most of them talk weird. I think you and I are like at the level of smartness that I would ever want to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we were any smarter,
it would suck.
It would suck.
Yeah. Because you just know the inevitable.
Yeah. You give, like, okay, Elon Musk, for instance. Elon Musk, going on a limb here, smarter than us. But he talks weird, dude. He doesn't have the, like, he's cool. He's cool. He's fun to listen to and talk about his fucking
he's
crazy
also
idea.
from South Africa. So
yeah,
he's going to have an accent.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. I've met South Africans that can fucking riff, dude, and he's not one of them, all right? There's a lot of South Africans that can fucking talk up a storm, and he is not one of them. But, you know, you get to a certain level of genius where, like, you're not even able to, like, communicate to an average person.
Yeah.
Their cadence is weird. Like, he has this weird kind of cadence where he talks like...
Yeah, there's almost like a language barrier, even though you're speaking the same shit.
It's like borderline autistic. I mean, not he's saying he's autistic, but it's like kind of like where you get into that realm where it's like you get so advanced at one thing that, like, everything else kind of suffers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's
like the reverse of like losing your sight, and then your nose gets better and your hearing gets better.
Yeah, the reverse.
Yeah.
You get such good sight that you can't fucking smell anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what the hell, dude? I can see everything. I can see this smell.
But at what cost?
I can see that this stinks. But I can't smell it. Like, right after you left last week, I popped on a video of the title was "High School Student Explains the Fourth Dimension," and the video was from 2010. So I was like, "Oh, this kid's our age," because we were in high school.
Yeah.
It looked like he was like a freshman or sophomore. So he was like a young high schooler. So it's probably like a 14, 15-year-old kid, basically walking you through the fourth dimension. Now, if you would have asked me at 14 years old to explain to you,
what?
yeah, the fourth dimension, I'd be like, dude, I don't even know. I barely even totally caught up with the third dimension right now.
They
Dude.
haven't made video games in that yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, dude. I don't fucking know what the fourth dimension is. I could have probably told you it was time. Could have been like, oh, the fourth dimension is time. I don't know why. I don't know how that makes any sense.
A lucky guess.
Lucky guess. I've heard it said before. I couldn't explain to you why or space time or any of the Einstein quantum shit. But this kid could. But also, this kid talked like Elon Musk. He had that weird smart guy cadence. That weird, like...
I'm just imagining, like, Paul Weisco.
Yes.
Like, he was super smart, but he just, like... I don't know either. But
let's, for the sake of the podcast and for the sake of me being off
laptop,
camera,
dude. He had a laptop, and I assumed that meant he was smart.
I'm waiting for your camera to switch back. Say something real quick. Say something.
Check. 1, 2. Ooh, yeah. It's a little slow on the switch.
Anyway, the point is when you get to a certain
switches back to you pretty quick, huh? Switch. That's what I noticed. Actually, it switched back to me pretty quickly there.
You got to talk with some fucking umph, dude.
I guess, dude. But I don't know. I'm just with my boy.
Look at the
I'm
way I
fucking
talk,
chilling.
See how I fucking eat the mic every time I fucking
You're
talk?
pushing it away from you.
Even the mic's trying to get away.
It. That's the auto level that we have on the mixer.
Yeah,
it moves the mic away.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Shut up. So that's an example of a kid who has that smart guy cadence, that kind of like monotone, zero rhythm kind of talking.
Yeah.
And that's when I talk to somebody, I'm like, wow, this guy's smart. But too smart, dude.
Yeah.
Too
when
smart.
it sounds like they're just like reading off a list of facts.
Yeah.
But there's no paper in front of them.
Yeah. It's like, dude, are you reading right now? What are you reading? You can read?
Yeah.
That's smart, dude.
Wow.
Wow, dude. You can read from nothing? That's incredible. So, like, I would say that, like, functional intelligence is about, like, look, what is the IQ? 140 is genius?
Sure.
100 is average?
I'd say so.
Dude, if I could sit around like I don't know what the fuck I am. I've never taken a real IQ test. But if I found out that I was somewhere around like, definitely, I would hope I'm above 100, dude. I would hope I'm above 100.
Yeah. That'd be optimal.
But like, I don't need to be 143, dude.
Nah, just give me anything above 100.
Yeah.
Anything above
120s, dude. Like if I was like
I don't
128,
even care
that'd be
if I'm
sick.
there. I'm saying like 106. I'm fine with that.
106 is cool.
I'm fine
Yeah,
with
dude,
that.
You're smarter than the average guy.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Average guy comes up talking to you. He's like, dude, you talk weird. It's like, no, I'm just 6 points smarter than you, idiot. You average idiot.
The average Joe.
Average Joe. So, like, but I guess the whole point of what I'm getting at, besides just making fun of smart people, because that's what it sounds like is what I was getting at, just not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is that, look, I can research physics and I can learn about stuff.
Yeah.
And I can
Give
understand
me
it.
12 years.
Yeah.
That's what you had, dude.
Yeah, give me fucking 12 years of just reading shit, watching YouTube videos, and honestly, with the available information that we have
give
today
me
on
6,
YouTube,
dude.
give me 6, dude. I'm
I'll
watching
do it in
videos.
half.
I can watch a video in 40 minutes that
I
is
can
like
put on
an entire
double
book.
speed on the video.
Yeah,
Be done in no time.
and I can hear it in double speed because I'm smart, dude.
Smart.
baby.
What is this, Mix 106.5 or my IQ?
That would be sick, dude. Turns out I'm Z1043. I'm dumber than I'm 93.1, dude. Fuck.
88.1, dude. I'm down bad.
I'm down bad, dog. I'm in the fucking AM stations, dude. Damn, son. But like, yeah, like, look, that's, I guess what I'm getting at is like, we're never going to be able to fucking understand space rockets the way Elon Musk will.
No.
Probably no matter
I mean,
how
he
hard we
doesn't
study.
really understand it. The rocket blew up.
Blew up.
It
And
blew up.
That's the
dude.
key thing. Like, we could do that. Like, we could do that. We could build a rocket that blows up. I believe that. I believe we could do that.
We could, dude.
That's got to be disheartening. To be like, I just invested my whole life into something and I did something
honestly though, it was fucking sick until it blew up.
I didn't even watch it. I just heard it blew
So,
up.
dude, it landed. Like they landed a rocket
On what?
on land. That's what that means.
Like Earthland or
On
like the
land.
moon?
Yeah. It came from outer space, shot down to the Earth, and then it like put its propulsion shit back on, steadied out, and then straight up just like and landed.
And then it just blew
And
up.
then it just started catching on fire. And then it fucking blew up.
So basically, we could do that as long as soon as it lands, everybody just jumps out. Get the fuck out
It
of
was
there.
unmanned. It was unmanned.
Well,
It was
that's
okay.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. They're doing like the auto drive of space travel.
I mean, landing a rocket on land, dude, haven't we? I thought we're at the point now where we're landing rockets on like other lands, dude. Like you just landed a rocket on Earth, dude. You didn't have to use a rocket for that, dude. Just you're already here.
I mean, I guess for the moon landing, they had like the shuttle or like the little buggy shit that they shot out.
Well, what was Elon Musk doing that hasn't already been, unless it was literally the unmanned thing that he's trying out?
I think he's trying the unmanned shit, but also like being able to land. I mean, it's like a plane, dude. Imagine if you had to get a trip to fucking LA to visit Scott and they just blew up the plane at the end of the fucking trip.
Like you had like 30 seconds to get off the plane when it lands.
Yeah. And then you had to use another plane to get back. They
like-
couldn't reuse the planes.
And we're pulling into LAX. The time is 5:49. It's 72 and sunny. And get the fuck out!
Yeah.
Get out! It's gonna blow!
Jump! Yeah.
Like when they're running through the shit at the beginning where they're like, in the event of a crash and the shit bumps out, and they're like, no, listen, because you are going to need
Yeah.
to know this.
In the event that will come later, the crash.
This is not a hypothetical. You will need to know this.
Yeah, no, we're speaking very literally right now.
I remember when
But no, it's basically that. It's the same thing. It's like any sort of, rocket that people have taken off into space, they either just leave it in space or it like crashes into the ocean. You know what I mean? So
the unmanned ones.
no,
or the manned
even
ones.
the manned ones.
Well, how'd they get back from the moon, dude?
Well, so like they have different stages in the rockets. So like one will be just to shoot them up. It'll get the fucking craft out of the atmosphere, and then the other one will shoot it into space, and then that'll knock off, and then that third one will be the one that's in space traveling around. They might have like a fucking lunar lander or some shit. They'll shoot out of that to send people out. But other than that, like they'll be in that like little tiny cargo and then just like get back into Earth's atmosphere and then just go into the ocean with some fucking parachutes.
Wow. Can you
But
imagine
Elon Musk's shit was basically taking the whole rocket up and then bringing it back down whole.
So he's basically trying to put astronauts out of work, dude.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's just like making the means to get into space more feasible than like a fucking $30 billion budget.
Yeah.
It's like you can make that shit once and then keep sending shit out and then bring it back.
Here's a question for you. The year is
It
1969.
would speed up, exploration of that shit.
You're working at NASA. You're the head astronaut. Nobody's ever been on the moon. They never put a man on the moon before. Mm-hmm. But you're fucking Buzz Lightyear, dude. You are the lead guy.
Yeah,
and
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin.
That's the real guy.
Let's go with Buzz Lightyear. To infinity and beyond. That's what I'm talking. You're Buzz Lightyear, bro.
Buzz Aldrin was chill, though. He had fucking tats. He was like an 80-year-old dude with tats.
Apparently, he's
and
like...
he died saying that the shit was like a conspiracy.
Yeah, apparently he got real off the rails towards the end, which I think is another side effect of being a genius. Like Bobby Fischer, the chess guy, he went off the rails too.
Nuts.
You get so smart, you start to like talk to yourself.
Well, it's like that movie, not Beautiful Mind, but it was the one where like the mathematician just goes nuts. And he thinks like the government's after him halfway through the movie.
I think that is a part of it, dude. You get too smart for your own good. I don't think we have to worry about that. I think we're just where we need to be.
Smart enough.
106, baby. 106, coasting. We're going to have our sanity well into our later years, hopefully. Exactly. But you're 1969. Nobody's ever put a guy on the moon. They say, dude, I think we got it. I think we got a rocket. You going to the moon? You taking that chance?
Yeah, probably. If my whole shit was going to space and I had the opportunity, I would totally take it.
Yeah, but dude, like, here's my worst nightmare. Not necessarily the thing blowing up, because that's like, okay.
Because that also happened.
Yeah, but...
That shit was nuts. Was that Apollo 11 that blew up, or which one was that?
13, I think.
Okay, yeah.
That's the one the movie was about. So I'm assuming that's the one they made a movie about, Apollo 13. The rocket game is still very shaky to me. Like the fact that we still are having rockets blowed up.
Blowed up.
Blowed up. I'll tell you.
That's the 106. I'm fucking peeking out.
I'm making myself dumber.
IQ
I'm trying to make myself dumber.
Blowed up.
so that I don't have to worry about
anything.
You're
trying to trick the machine, dude. You're trying to trick the IQ machine.
Don't come to me for your next rocket trial, dude.
Set the baseline as an idiot. And then in the test, fucking...
Wow, dude. We didn't even think you learned English properly, and now you're the smartest astronaut? You are Buzz Lightyear?
You're going to the moon,
We
Buzz.
thought you were Woody, bro. There's a snake in my boot. But the game is so shaky that like even in 2021, we're still having shit blowing up, dude. The fucking rocket that blew up on its launch in the 80s, dude, that was 20 years after we fucking put a guy on the moon.
That was in like the 90s, I think.
Even worse.
Yeah.
That far into the game, we're still that shaky, dude. It's like, dude, like, that's a real gamble going to the fucking moon. That's not like flying to LA, where there's like a 99.99 chance you're fine. That's like a 80-20. Dude,
True.
1 in 5 rockets, 1 in 5 chance you're not making it back. I would rather have it blow up than get to the moon and they're like, oh, dude, the one that's supposed to take you back
blew up.
And so you're just stuck on the fucking moon.
Damn. I mean, that was The Martian.
That was
a good movie.
That was good.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
That was. Ooh.
Making some shit potatoes.
You know what'd be sick, though? Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. This is where we're going to get a little quantum on you.
Bear Grylls, drink your piss. Eat your own spum for protein.
Spum. Wonder how long you could do that for.
I forget what that's from, but I think spum is very funny.
Spum is intro. I thought it was spunk.
I know, but I
Spum
remember
is
hearing
better.
spum somewhere.
Spum is better. All right. First thing I'm going to do is stand up and readjust my pants because I'm not wearing underwear.
Ooh. Free balling. You sit on your balls.
Second order of business.
Dude, we're old enough to sit on our balls now.
We
Isn't
are.
that crazy?
It's a privilege.
I remember hearing like adults joke about that back in the day when my balls were so small and close to my body. I didn't know what they're talking about. I was like, how could you sit on these?
How could this be?
How can you sit on these? I got these little lumps poking out of my torso.
How am I sitting on this, bro? Barely
on the
lay on
opposite
them.
side of my body.
So, you are familiar. The premise of The Martian is based in real physics, which is that time is relative, and time is entirely the way you experience time. To simplify it, is based on how fast you are moving through space. So, the faster you're moving through space, the slower you experience time. Imagine you're standing in an ocean, right? And there's a wave that hits you every so often, right? Like the waves are coming in a consistent, let's say every 10 seconds there's a wave. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Now, let's say you start running towards the waves. You're going to be hit more often with the waves because you're running towards the waves. If you start running away from the waves, you're going to be hit less often. You might be hit every 15 seconds. Let's say that's time. So based off of how fast you're going is how fast time actually affects you. So the concept of The Martian was, I forgot which way it was, but basically he goes to this other planet
He goes
where
to Mars.
Mars. Now I'm down to like 84. I'm almost legally retarded at this point. What the fuck planet
And
was
that'd
it?
be okay to say with your IQ.
Hey, I am retarded. I can say this. I can say this. You don't know my truth. You don't know my truth. So he's on Mars. Now, I don't know what time actually is on Mars. I don't know if it's moving faster or slower in orbit. Who fucking knows? I'm imagining that based off of my mathematical understanding of orbit, the further away you are in orbit, that means the faster you're moving, because that means you have that much more centripetal force, which means you're pulling on the gravitational pull of the sun harder. So like if you're like spinning a ball around like that little loop thing, the faster you spin it, the further away the ball gets.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm imagining that Mars moves faster than Earth around the sun because they are the fourth in orbit. We're the third rock from the sun. So that would mean, based off of the things that we just said, that you would experience time slower on Mars. So a day on Mars might be 2 days on Earth. Let's say, just to make it easy. It's probably more proportionate than that. Might be like an hour is like an hour and 15 minutes. Who fucking knows? I don't know. The only way I'd agree to go to a foreign planet is if I went to a planet that had slower time. So that, like, let's say I went to a planet where one Earth day was like
A minute.
a
Or
minute.
no? Okay.
Like one year on Earth.
You could come home and your wife's already a MILF.
Or let's Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. The Milfy way, dude. That's the only galaxy I'm going to, bro. That's the only galaxy I'm interested in, bro. So, I would go to a planet where time affects me. So I can't even put my mind. Okay. One day on the planet that I would go to would have to be like a year, or the other way around. One day on the planet I go to would have to be
A
like
year on Earth.
1 hour on Earth. So that means if I stayed, let's make it easier. 1 year on my planet is a day on Earth. So that means that basically I could get stranded on that planet potentially and live there for like 100 years. But in Earth time, that's only like 5 years. So let's make it.
I mean, but would you still age 5 years, basically? Or however long it would take in that environment? Or would it be like that shit's happening so fast and then your brain tries to rationalize the cycles and the patterns to be like, all right, this is a day here, even though it's only like 20 seconds.
I think you would age.
And would your brain get fucking jacked
I guess.
to like just have to process all that information so quickly?
Let's ring this in a little bit because I'm losing my own self, which means I got to be losing you.
No,
You're with me?
I'm with you more than ever.
I think you're with me more than I'm with me right now.
I think so. Okay, so this is what you're talking about. You're saying that if you were an astronaut, you'd want to go to a place where 10 years was 10 days here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for making that. Okay.
But
yes.
what I was asking was, if you had those 10 years there, would you age 10 years, or would like are those cycles happening? Like it's weird because it's like we use all these measures, like we have the calendar year just to like make sense of the fucking universe. And we kind of like, all right, well, these seasons happen. We'll do fucking winter, spring, summer, autumn, whatever.
Yeah.
In the situation where you're on that other planet, like, are you still going based off Earth time?
You're
is your
aging.
brain like having to make new pattern connections and recognize like, okay, so this is night, this is day, that's a day. Now that's one, that's two. Two happened in 3 minutes. Like,
I believe that you would experience time relative to wherever you are. So if you got stuck for 10 years on a planet where 10 years was just 10 days on Earth, you would still experience that as 10 years. You would age 10 years. You would perceive it as 10 years because the waves are hitting you slower.
Yeah.
But you're still like, that's how I'm assuming time works, is that time is like this. You experience it the way it comes. So we experience it this way. But so if you went to a planet and got stuck there for 10 planets for 10 years on that planet, you would experience it as 10 years. You'd age 10 years, the whole nine. But that would give Earth. Hold up, dude.
I guess what I'm saying is when you came back to Earth, would that time affect you, or would it go back to like whatever?
You would basically experience it back in Earth way when you got back, because like you would just like time is just like, dude, I don't know.
We're not smart enough for this.
All I'm trying to say. Let me just all the other
flexing our IQs are clearly.
My brain is starting to hurt. It's starting to hurt. I think I might have aged myself at least 2 weeks in this conversation. All I'm trying to say is I'd want to go to a planet where if I wind up getting stuck there for a prolonged period of time, that would have only been a less amount of time on Earth. So like, let's say like I get stuck out there and then Earth is like, fuck, dude, we're going to need like another 5 years to figure out the technology to send something back to Mars and get him back. But 5 years on Earth is like, might be only like, it could be like 60 years there.
Yeah.
Or let's say like it could be 10 years there, let's say. So like 5 years later, I've lived on that planet for what I perceive to be 10 years, but it's only really been 5 years. So when I come back, I'll have aged 10 years. I'll be like the equivalent of my 38-year-old self if I went out today. I come back, my wife's only 5 years older. All my friends are still around. They're just like, dude, you've been gone for 5 years. I'm like, dude, I thought I was gone for 10 years. It's only been 5? That's not bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the only way. You could not convince me to go to a planet where they're like, dude, if you get stuck out there for a day, it's like fucking 20 years.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
So like, yeah, I would only go to a slower time planet. In case any astronauts are looking for recruitments, put me down as a guy who wants to go to a slower planet. You guys
are listening.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are, especially when that fucking everything conks out on the podcast. I know that's when you tap in. Notice you haven't been tapping in this podcast.
Yeah.
But probably because...
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Probably because we've proven ourselves to not be eligible for the next space mission. But that's really the thing. That thing is such a fucking...
It's a scam.
Time is a scam, dude. It's a fucking... Like, the fact that, like, time is relative, it kind of pisses me off a little bit, where it's like, it really is just an illusion, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we live on Earth. Think about it this way. Right now, the Earth... Let's say the Earth let's give it a number. Whatever, dude. It takes the Earth 24 hours to rotate one full rotation on its axis. That's what we qualify as a day. So the entire circumference of the Earth, let's say it's like 106,000 feet. Let's just say your IQ times 1,000 feet.
Exactly.
That means that that in the course of 24 hours, we all that are standing on Earth are moving 106,000 miles per hour through space. This math doesn't check out. Doesn't matter. You get the concept. We're moving at an incredibly fast rate in this rotation of the Earth. But right now, we perceive it as standing still because that is our relative at rest. Everything on this planet is on the same planet, just like when you're sitting in a car. You're moving in a car 60 miles down the interstate. But to sitting in the chair and the person sitting next to you, you're at rest. And so I guess that's how time would work, is like we're all experiencing time the same way. But like if we were moving even faster in the car, 80 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, we'd still be at rest.
Yeah.
In our own relative perception. So I guess depending on how fast you're moving through space affects how fast you perceive time or how fast time affects you. But to you, it always feels the same. Maybe. Does that make sense?
Not gonna lie, I started thinking about Hot Pockets for a second when you're talking.
Your IQ has just gone down, bro.
Exactly.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I brought you down. I brought you down.
You're not supposed to stoop to their levels.
I know, dude. I've always had this saying I like to say is nobody walks away dumber from a conversation, but I have proven that wrong. I think we are both.
I think I have.
And I think everyone listening has become dumber. So you can thank us for that, I guess. We're just trying to figure out the important questions, dude, because at some point they're going to come to people. They're going to come to people and ask them. It's going to happen. They're going to want to start sending people to Mars. It's guaranteed. They're going to want to start doing it.
I'm going to be the first man. I'm going to go out there right now, take a piss.
You're not fucking
pass my test.
All right. All right. Take your fucking piss, dude. I'll drop our sponsors today. Our sponsor today. Hold up. Let me get the cup. Give me 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm back. Okay. Today. Now, we couldn't think of a very good name for this because we have Powerade and Gatorade. And trying to combine those two words is difficult. I don't know how you would do that. But luckily, the Powerade is blue, 0. And the Gatorade is yellow. So, by my calculations, if we mix these two substances, it's been a while since I've taken chemistry, but I believe we will get Greenerade. Let's see. Blue, yellow. Ooh. That's fucking sick, dude. Greenerade. This podcast is brought to you by Greenerade.
No. Don't do it. Oh, shit.
This looks like Martian space juice.
Is that illegal, dude? That looks like Baja Blast.
This does. Oh, my God, dude. You want some? You want some Greenerade? I got you a cup. Dude, get a little Greenerade in your life, bro.
Okay, give me some.
The podcast is brought to you by it.
Greenerade. Are they both 0?
Yeah. Greenerade 0.
Powerade 0?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
How's the color of yours? Green?
Very green.
Nice. Let me see. Oh, yours is greener than mine, dude.
Well, thank you.
Nice Greenerade. Oh, I put the wrong caps on, but they fit. They fit. All right, now I'm gonna take a whiz.
Go for it, dude. I'll keep talking about Greenerade here. So basically, any cap, any fit. We're talking about 0 sugar sports drinks here, baby. We're talking Greenerade. We're talking fucking. We're trying to figure out a combination of Powerade and Gatorade, but they both end in aid, so you wouldn't know if it was a mashup. It would have to be Power Gator or Gator Power. Oh, honestly, Gator Power rules. Gator Power is a good one. Greenerade, Gator Power. And that even makes more sense. Listen, folks, if you're trying to get fucked up off energy, get Powerade 0 sugar sports drink X Ion with the mixed berry flavor. And get yourself a little Gatorade 0 lemon lime, baby. The yellow. As a kid, my least favorite color of Gatorade was the yellow. But as an adult, I've learned to acquire a taste for it. I was thinking we call it.
To admire green.
I acquired a taste. I was saying maybe we call this Gator Power.
Gator Power. Okay, I like
Gator
that too.
Power, but also both of them go together. So Gator Power, Greenerade, or
Gator
what
Power.
were you calling it?
Greenerade.
Greenerade, hell yeah. Gator Power, Greenerade, or Greenerade, Gator Power.
The product is Greenerade.
Yeah.
And the flavor is Gator Power. Actually, I think it should be called Gator
think
Power.
Gator Power should be the product, but the flavor is Greenerade.
Greenerade.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're on to something now. It's good, dude.
It's not bad.
It really, if this was a flavor, I'd be like, okay, I'd
Yeah.
admire it. I'd admire this flavor.
Honestly, if I saw this color in a bottle and I tasted this, I'd be like, yeah, I guess that's what that tastes like. Whatever the fuck they're trying to sell me.
So this is mixed berry and this is lemon lime. So this is just
Yeah.
like a lemon lime berry,
Yeah.
like a lemon raz.
Lemon lime raz.
Yeah. Are raspberries blue?
Raspberries are red.
Why do they always make
Or
raspberry
they call it blue raspberry.
But
There's no blue raspberry.
If you're a little kid listening,
Tune this off. Tune this off for a hot maybe
Yeah,
30 minutes.
because spoiler alert, the mystery flavor is always blue raspberry. Just letting you know.
And guess what? There's not even a real blue raspberry.
There's not. That's
It's a
why it's
fake
mysterious.
flavor.
It's almost a cheating thing because it's like there's no such. It doesn't exist in nature, and they're like, try to guess what flavor it is, and it's like,
Yeah,
well,
because black cherry is a thing. There are black
oh, yeah,
cherries.
It is a thing. Yeah, maraschinos.
I don't think so.
They're not.
That's not.
They're
the
actually
black
the
cherry.
reddest cherries that exist.
Bright red. That's the cherry you think of when you think of cherry.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So what? 82.
Dude, it's gonna take me a while to get any level of intelligence back, dude. I'm getting so dumb right now. I'm getting so dumb.
Honestly, it could be the Greenerade.
I don't think we should be drinking this Greenerade, dude. Actually,
They're both zero sugar, so it cancels out. We're both about to have a diabetes attack.
it's pretty good, dude.
It's not bad.
I like it.
It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, it's a lot better than these room temperature Miller Lights we've been slugging down.
Yeah. Which aren't bad either.
That's not gonna stop me from drinking another one. You want another one?
I might as well.
Yeah, might as well, dude. Yeah. So. Oh shit! High Top's emailing back. Hell yeah! Let's see what they said. Live on the air. Let's see what High Top said. This is crucial for me.
Hopefully it's good.
I saw a lot of. Oh hell yeah! I just realized from this reply that
Maryland is 100% open.
hell yeah, brother. Gonna look up booking again next week, and I'll hit you up for sure. Would love to have you back.
Hell yeah, brother.
That is from Brandon with 2 A's at High Tops.
Ooh. Two A's in the front or the back?
Instead of where the O should go, it's an A.
Ooh.
Interesting. Brandon.
I thought it was going to be 2 A's.
Brandon.
Bron.
Brandon. It's from Brandon at
Brandon.
High Tops with 2 P's. Yeah, I've been noticing that a lot of the place. I took this. It was a little ego shot, a little bit. Not really. I didn't really care that much, but I noticed myself thinking about it.
Huh.
That a lot of the places that I was playing at before are now starting to open back up to having live music, and I've had to reach out to them for some of them, and obviously they have a lot of people they're dealing with. So it's, but in my mind,
honestly,
they'll hit me up.
I think potentially could be fair. Just
Yeah.
because they don't know everyone's situation, or if they're like, willing to go back into work like that, or
That's true.
whatever the case may be.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
I'd say 50-50 though.
Yeah, and I would say there have definitely been places that have emailed me and been like, "Hey, we're starting live music again. Send us your availability." But there's also a couple places.
Well, those are the ride or dies.
Those are the ride or dies. But High Tops is a ride or die of mine. But they have so many people, especially the ones that have music 7 days a week. It's like they have so many guys that they're running through, so he doesn't have time to hit up every single person that he worked with over the years. It's like, dude, you see that we're doing music, you see somebody posting they're playing there, like, hit me up. So that's cool. And the fact that he got back to me tonight was awesome because I'd love to come back to High Tops, dude. That's my signature place in Timonium, dude.
Yeah, I assume they never even closed.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I bet
know
they did. I was kind of joking.
Yeah, they closed when everybody had to close, but they were not closed when they didn't have to be closed. They were open sesame, not open sesame. I think they're leaning towards open. Speaking of open sesame, starting tomorrow at 5, Maryland bars are back to 100%. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Larry Hogan made the announcement earlier in the week. Maryland bars are open to 100% capacity starting Friday, March 12th at 5 p.m.
Huh. But also, I guess, doesn't it still come down to like regulations based on like the city or county still?
To be honest, I don't. I would imagine so. Yeah, because the city would. I don't. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because the city's definitely been like stricter than the county.
Yeah, the city did repeal the 1 hour thing. That I don't know if I brought that up. That was like a couple weeks ago.
That was like the dining thing.
Yeah, the 1 hour thing for you can only stay in a restaurant for 1 hour. Probably after watching our clip. I did actually have a couple people when I went down to Fells for a couple drinks be like, "Yo, that clip you guys posted, that was so true." I was like, "Oh hell yeah, dude, hell yeah." We're like, "Yeah, I didn't think about it. It makes sense." I was like, "Oh, sick, hell yeah."
Hell yeah.
So it must have made its way to Brandon Scott, and now he reconsidered. But the Baltimore County's been pretty much just doing whatever Hogan says. Baltimore City's got their own thing going on, so I don't know what the story's going to be for my city gigs. But as far as I know, the county gigs are. But also, it's like, dude, we talked about it before, but we've already established that pretty much every bar is in fuck it mode, and every bar is pretty much just doing what they see fit.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Like, you go to certain parts of the city where, like, for instance, like you did some shooting down in Motor House yesterday. Mm-hmm. In the very, like, I guess I would say, for lack of a better term, like, I would say the woker the neighborhood, the more they're about, like, the restrictions. And so I would imagine when you go to, like, Hamden bars, Station North bars, they're still very much on top of shit. But when you go to, like, Canton or Fells bars, I mean, just my personal experience, I haven't really hung out anywhere in Hamden recently.
Yeah, me neither.
Or Station, or Station North. But, like, I would imagine they're probably way more on top of it than, like, a Fells Point bar.
Probably.
Yeah. So, like, and that has nothing to do with the city laws. It really, at this point, if we're being honest, it has entirely to do with the bar and the neighborhood and the clientele. The people that are going out to Fells bars, they're just a different breed than the people that are going out to Metro Gallery, and there's just a different breed of people, you know? So I guess at this point, it's like the capacity rules have been lifted now that everything's allowed to be 100% capacity. If you're in Fells Point, nothing has changed because I didn't really see any bars. I mean, I don't know what their capacity limit was, but I would say that there were a couple bars I visited that seemed to be close to 100% capacity.
Yeah, like over the fire limit on the wall.
Yeah, like, yeah. Over, they were 113% capacity in some of the places I went to. So, I mean, look, all I know is now it's apparently legal in the state of Maryland. But the mask thing still applies and all that. So, but that was, I guess, pretty.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah. Maryland's keeping the mask thing. We walk the middle. We're a blue state with a Republican governor, dude. We're right down the line, right down the middle. And Hogan's trying to make his bid for. I think what's going on right now is Hogan's trying to make his bid. I think he's going to try to run for president in the next cycle, and so he's trying, and he's obviously going to run as a Republican. Yeah. And so he's trying to do things that would
appease everyone.
Yeah, they would appeal more to the Republicans, like, because he's kind of been like a Republican governor who's been kind of governing more like a Democrat governor as it goes for COVID at least.
Yeah, for sure.
But now that he's looking towards the end of his governor term, which I don't know when it ends, but obviously before the presidential.
But also, it is kind of silly that, like, basically we can say, oh, he acted responsibly during a pandemic, so he acted more like a Democratic governor.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I think Texas and Florida.
It's insane that it's like black and white like that.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think Democrats were definitely much more about lockdowns and stuff, and Republicans were not really about the lockdowns, which kind of goes hand in hand with their concerns.
Yeah.
Like Republicans are more concerned about the economy in general.
Well, that's kind of like the weird thing now too with like the stimulus shit. Like I think the stimulus shit just passed like on Thursday. Wink, wink. Because it's Friday, guys.
It is Friday.
We're live from the studio.
Yeah.
It passed yesterday. But like the Democrats hold the majority, but they still like gave in concessions to the Republicans. And even when the bill passed today, 0 Republicans voted for it.
Wow.
So they gave in concessions. They took off the $15 minimum wage. They took off like a bunch of their stipulations for getting the stimulus, the $1,400 or whatever. But they did it for literally no gain. Like
Well,
they tried to like toe a party line that didn't exist. And then still no one bit the line.
I don't see that. I saw that. I did see a tweet about that today, and it made me think. Because what is it? It's 50-50 right now in the Senate.
I think Democrats have the advantage. They have the majority basically.
But not every Democrat is a super progressive Democrat. Like you have Joe Manchin in West Virginia, who's like as close to Republican as you can be, while still being a Democrat. He's pretty much like the way Larry Hogan is as a Republican, but is like close to Democrat as you can be as a Republican. So like Joe Manchin wasn't really against Trump because West Virginia is a Trump state. They're a red state. And so in order to maintain his seat in the Senate, he kind of has to play ball a lot with the Republicans, more so than with the Democrats.
Yeah.
So I think that there are certainly Democrats in the Senate that, although they have the D next to their name, are much more sympathetic to Republican causes because there's a plurality of Republicans in their state that determine their seat. So you would look at it and say, okay, yeah, we didn't have to appease any Republicans, but it's not like all the Democrats are in lockstep for every single thing. And, to be honest, as far as the stimulus package itself, it annoys me overall that
it took this long. Like it took so fucking long.
Yeah, that primarily.
It was like it was something that was promised like at the beginning of his takeover / even before that. Like I think Trump was planning on giving out another stimulus before he left, but then it carried over into this shit.
Yeah, and then they went along with the impeachment thing first, and a bunch of other things, and then finally, here we are in mid-March, and now we're looking at getting a stimulus. But so that obviously is the first and foremost thing that annoys me is that wasn't priority one. The other thing, though, is just in general with the way politics works, is that there's this accepted. I remember once I was talking to. I was playing a wedding for my math teacher from middle school. I talked about this before, and one of the guys who went to our school, his father, who's playing the cocktail hour. His father is a state senator from Maryland, and we were kind of
interviewed him before.
Oh, the state senator or the kid?
No, the senator.
Oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and the kid went to Towson High School with us, and he was also involved with the wedding thing too. Like I said, he's playing the cocktail hour. I was playing the reception, bitch. And
dude,
so
2010 showed out.
Yeah, 2010 did show. Well, I think he was 2011.
Really? I thought he was in our grade.
No, he was a year younger, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But regardless.
Still.
So we're in the teacher. Yeah, still. That era. Seniors
played
and juniors.
the reception, okay?
Yeah. Come on. Hey, we were there. We were discussing, this was right around the time, this is around 2015, 2016. So this is right when the first Trump election was about to start. And we were kind of discussing politics when it was still socially acceptable to discuss politics without worrying that you were going to get in a fight for your life. So we were having a little discussion. And
also, it was still fun to make jokes about politics.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all just serious.
It was like discussing Ravens versus Steelers. Like, oh, you fucking liberal. Oh, you fucking piece of shit Republican. Like, oh, you probably fuck your sister. Like, you could make jokes like that, and there wasn't actual real animosity. There was on the extremes, but for the most part, it was really just arguing sports. Like, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican. Fuck you. Obviously, not the case now. But back then, obviously, it was a touchable enough subject that three dudes who don't really know each other that well, other than having been in the same school building together, and not having seen each other for 5 years after that. We're just in his living room after we were discussing the wedding plans and stuff, and we kind of started talking about politics. And they were saying something that like Bernie did or something that Trump did, or whatever. And then the kid was like, well, that's politics, because his dad's a politician. He's like, well, that's how it works. And I was saying, well, just because that's how it works doesn't mean that's how it should work. It doesn't mean that just because that's how things go doesn't mean that we should accept that as, well, that's just the way it is and that's the way it's always going to be. So let's just accept this fucked up thing and talk about other stuff. It's like, no, like, and in regards to this stimulus bill, and you're talking about all the other things that people are adding in and trying to get added in to appease this, that, the other thing, which may or may not have been necessary. Because there's so many backdoor things that go on. It could have been things where, like, if a senator, like, a lot of times what can happen is all politicians are beholden to someone. Mm-hmm. That's how you become a career politician.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Unless you are someone who is literally capable of funding their own campaign, like an Andrew Yang, like Donald Trump, like somebody who doesn't need to go through those hoops, or like Bernie Sanders, for instance, who, takes majority from like people as opposed to big organizations.
Yeah. I think there might be a local senator that does that. John Sarbanes. I think he gets all of his donations from.
Oh.
He fights for the pushing big groups like the fucking super PACs out of politics.
I haven't thought about that guy in a while, John Sarbanes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Fucking blast from the past. But there are politicians that are like that. I'm interested to know how far you can make it in that business without at some point bending over for somebody. I think there's a reason why certain politicians who are principled, and more power to them, stay at state levels as opposed to rising to the national level, because the bigger you get, the more people want a piece of your power. And at a certain point, you kind of have to play ball in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that, you have these senators that are like, yeah, I'll sign this bill, but like also my fucking contributors and my financiers are breathing down my neck that they want this legislation passed and that legislation passed. They're going to, they're telling me like, they're going to donate to my campaign. They're not going to donate unless I get this thing passed in this term. And like, they have to get their own shit passed just to keep their job. And so they're using something like this COVID stimulus bill, which should be entirely 100% about COVID relief. That's what it's called. That's what it should be. And then we're putting in all this other shit that senators and whoever else is involved have to get off their desk.
Yeah.
And they're using this as an opportunity to just tie on this thing. Look, regardless of what you feel about the $15 minimum wage or more funding for this thing or more funding for Pakistan and all these other things that we can talk about.
Yeah, the COVID relief bill shouldn't be like 600 pages long. It should be like 3 pages, and it basically saying like, hey, we have this amount of budget. We're going to give out this amount of stimuluses to everyone who's eligible.
Yes.
And that should be it.
That should be it. And then you can talk about unemployment extensions. You can talk about...
Whenever there's like a bill that's getting passed, it's like save the children. Mm-hmm. See what else is being passed in there.
Yeah. And so what happens is we have this multi-trillion-dollar thing, the third one that I'm aware of in a year, which is just it's a recipe for disaster. And it's only a matter of time till we see the effects of it. But for now, hey, here we are.
I mean, at the same time, our country's been in debt since we've been alive. So it's like, why not just fucking take out another loan from ourselves?
Yeah, I think the last time the debt was balanced was after the Civil War. I think was the last time we actually got down to a zero national debt. But that could be wrong. There might have been one other time after that. But it's been a while since we've been anything other than in debt in this country. But still, we're spending, I think every individual one of these COVID stimuluses is like vastly more than the fucking 2008 bailout was. Everybody was talking about the 2008 bailout.
No. I don't think so.
At least 2 of them. At least the first one. The first one, I think, was the biggest spending bill that's ever been passed by, I think, any country ever. It was like 4 trillion or something. And then there was another one where we got that like $600 stimulus or 1,200 or whatever we got. And that was like, that might have been less, but I still think that was in the trillions. Cause I think the bailout, the '08 bailout for the housing thing was like 800 billion. I don't think we've ever gone into the trillions for a bill that was passed. So I could be wrong about that, about all three, but at least 2 of them have been the 2 biggest, if not all 3, that we've ever passed. So in 1 year, we've spent not just one time more money than ever, but 3 times. So there's going to be effects of this. We've already seen, the effects, how quickly stuff, gas is going up by $1 a gallon just since January. And like, so these things manifest over time. Gas prices.
That's just like regular shit. Every year, once it gets warmer and people start driving around more, going on vacation, gas goes up. That's just the way of life.
Well, also, isn't it partly because
it's a highly manipulated resource? Yes.
Well, but here's something, and this is like, I don't want to get too far off track because it's unrelated almost, but with the gas prices, like, we enjoyed good gas prices because for the past like 4 or 5 years, I want to say, maybe 3, we've been not relying on foreign oil. We've been drilling in our own country.
Yeah, for sure.
And the one of the platforms of the Democratic Party was to not do that. Now, you could feel whatever way you want to feel about it, but the reality is that when you are dependent on foreign oil, it costs more because you're manipulated by their markets as opposed to just drilling in fucking Alaska, North Dakota, whatever. So when we kind of started making policies that are saying, look, we're not going to be drilling in our own countries, no fracking, no this, no that, we're going back to bombing Syria and fucking taking their shit, that's when you're going to see prices rise. So I don't know how much of that has to do with that. I'm assuming it's probably not a coincidence. But yeah, there's also the stuff you're talking about where it always fluctuates, but like this is a big fluctuation in a short period of time that I can't imagine is caused by anything other than that. But as far as the COVID thing, like, who fucking knows what senator wanted and what was going to require of them to pass it, and if maybe they were holding future bills and like, hey, like, do this and then I'll vote for this next bill down the line. Like, all that shit goes on constantly. So it doesn't matter. The point is that you have these people who are working to save their own ass and just as a side effect doing things at the slowest rate possible, at the most minimum rate possible to appease us when we're the ones who need it the most. Look, like I said, $15 minimum wage, great. If that's what you want, great. Make a bill about it and get that passed. Don't tie all these other fucking things on to this bill because you see it as an opportunity. Well, it's to save the children. It's the save the people bill. It's for COVID. We need to relieve people, and therefore we need $100 million to fucking Israel. It's like, no. I don't see where that comes into play. People are out of work. People are out of business. We need stimulus money. We need unemployment extensions. We need to talk about, national policies for how we're going to handle things. If you want to do it state by state for, how you want to divvy out relief to businesses that are going out of business. Like, all these things are the only things we should be hearing about on a COVID bill. And you look at like, I don't even know what the amount is that was passed, but it's a common trope for people to be like, oh, like it's this trillion amount of dollars that was just passed. And there's X amount of adults in the country. If you divided that up, everybody would qualify for like $6,000 stimulus. Obviously, that's a flawed way of logic because obviously there's other things that money goes toward. Like I said, unemployment extensions, funding for businesses to keep them afloat. But the moral of it all stands that when you have all these other completely irrelevant things getting attached onto these bills, it just reeks of opportunism, which is what I've been talking about since last year when this whole thing started.
It's just like deceitful.
Yeah.
It's not what it's supposed to be for.
But that's what we're dealing with. And so, like, you look at like the way COVID has been handled, and people have handled it differently depending on where you are and who you are and blah, 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 blah. But everyone on some level has used this pandemic as an opportunity to forward their political motives. Every single person. I don't believe that the higher ups on either side are 100% motivated by what's best for us. I think that's a very naive thing to believe, regardless of what party you are in favor of. So you have to always approach like these policies and things like that, the COVID policies, whether you support lockdowns or not, whether you support this or don't support that. Just understand that there's a lot more than meets the eye when we're forced as the public to live under this shit. And we want to believe that our higher ups in the science fields, in the political fields, and all these things are completely unbiased and completely unmotivated by natural human motivations or money or power or anything, that we, as the people that with no power and no say, are completely under the thumb of that shit. And if you're naive enough to walk through life and think that fucking every single person that's doing research and every single person that's writing a bill and all this shit, like, it doesn't matter who you are. We're all human beings at the end of the day. And these senators want to keep their jobs first and foremost. First and foremost. And these scientists want to keep their job first and foremost.
Yeah.
It's fucking true. I know you're not supposed to talk shit on science. Obviously, science is great. Obviously, we need, obviously, it goes without saying. But, you know, this kind of like, it's
not even necessarily the scientists themselves. It's the people at the top of those scientists that are being like played like a violin, dude.
What is it? Iconism or whatever it is, where you kind of like hold up like Anthony Fauci, for instance. You kind of like it's passed more from like a health professional where here's like the fucking like the word of God on whatever he fucking says, and it's just kind of like idolatry. Idolatry is the word I was looking for. But I was in this conversation with someone.
86?
Huh?
86?
86. Hey, I'm raising it up. I'm raising it up. I'm raising it up. But like, there is this tendency for people to look at certain institutions and be like, that institution is corrupt. This institution is impervious to corruption. I don't believe that. When you look at these research projects that are funded, money goes into them. People make their entire careers off of having research funded for them. They're researchers. They don't all raise their money themselves unless they have their own firms or whatever. Like, they're dependent on a lot of other people with their hands in the basket. And for someone to sit here and tell me that there's not a little bit of like, look, let's use an example. Let's say I'm the owner of Camel and I am funding research, or I'm the owner of Juul, who, you know, or some subsidiary, some tobacco company, and I'm funding research that's attempting to prove through some means that vaping is less detrimental to your health than smoking. And I'm pumping millions and millions and millions of dollars into your research for you to figure this out. And you're conducting your research. And over the course of time, while you're conducting that research, you start to find results that are counter to what I was trying to prove with this research. And you start reporting back to me and say, sir, I know this isn't what you want to hear, bless you, but...
That's the one dentist.
That's the one dentist, dude. 4 and 5, but you get that one guy. And he goes, look, we're finding that actually vaping has far more short-term repercussions. We can't really speak to the long-term repercussions, but it's not looking good. And basically, if we were like, we're going to continue this research and the results are going to be counter to what to what you want out there. Now, if I'm the owner of Juul and I'm pumping millions and millions and millions of dollars into research, am I going to continue pumping millions and millions and millions of dollars into research that is going to be a direct detriment to my business?
No, you're switching that over to PR.
Yeah. And am I going to continue funding this guy? This guy who makes all of his money?
No, fund the other 9 dentists.
But what about that one dentist who is finding those results and is...
9 out of 10 sounds better.
So if you are that one dentist and you know that the only way you get to keep your funding and your job is if you kind of play ball a little bit, hey, you know, we're finding this, but we could probably word this in a way, we could probably, you know, present these studies in a way that doesn't necessarily seem as bad as what we're finding. You're going to do it. You might. Depends on who you are. But if your entire job for the past 5 years has been funded by this one institution or the couple institutions that are funding your research, and you start putting out findings that they don't like, that are bad for them, and you know that if you keep on putting out those findings, that they're going to pull their funding and you're going to lose your funding and your job and your firm and whatever the hell you have, you're going to play ball depending on who you are. So to act like that doesn't go on To act like that doesn't go on with everything, not just vaping. I'm talking about medicine. I'm talking about everything. Environment, you name it. I'm not saying anything about science being fake or whatever. I'm just saying you cannot overlook that reality.
For sure.
To think that there is just this magical thing called science that is just magically perfect and there's not real, normal, flawed human beings conducting it that are motivated by the same things you're motivated by. Hey, guy who became the leader of our company's TikTok and got us 50,000 followers in the past 2 months. We're going to kind of need you to maybe not do as much on your personal TikTok. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Hey, and this leads us right into watching that South Park episode.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I've been getting at.
The episode we haven't seen.
Oh, yeah. The episode we have not seen. Where are we at right now? We can definitely...
I don't know.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we're at
we're like 2 hours in.
We're golden goose, guys.
Good times, guys.
We've made you smarter and dumber.
You got anything coming up?
Yes, I do. Actually, tonight, folks, tonight, I'm very excited about this weekend because this is the first weekend that the band is playing this whole year. This is our 2021 debut weekend, and we're doing it big with the old JFX tour, the 83 tour. Starting out Friday night, Friday, March 12th at CNR in Towson. That's 9 to 1 with the band. We'll be there from 9 to 1. That's going to be fun. CNR is a cool bar. It's kind of a country bar. I feel like we're supposed to know more country, but like we're going to do some country. But we're just mainly going to do the shit we already do and our originals, and just like it's always a good time. So definitely, if you're in that area, definitely come out. It's fun. And then Saturday, tomorrow, Saturday, March 13th, we will be at Chop Tank in Fells Point from 9 to 12, 9 to midnight. Same group of guys, 2 band gigs in a row. Friday, March 12th at CNR, 9 to 1. Saturday, March 13th at Chop Tank, 9 to 12. So big weekend coming up. The JFX tour, baby. My favorite weekends.
Hell yeah.
What about you, dude?
Just at Eric Glazer across everything. Check all that shit out. Be the first one to see a new post in over 6 months. Whenever the last time I posted shit.
Be first, dude. That fucking Greenerade combined with the menthol, just it hit.
It's another level, dude.
It was something. It was, I don't know what it was, but it was fucking something. Guys, LFTS podcast on everything. Follow us on Spotify. Please go to YouTube and subscribe. We're putting out clips every week, all the time. We always got new content. It's good stuff.
And obviously Instagram, all that shit at LFTS podcast. Give us a follow. Check out the clips. Jimmy's been putting in fucking work.
Work.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.